Let me just check mic levels here. Looks like we're good. Hey, folks in the Discord, make some noise.
Ah!
Okay, not that much noise. Thank you. I learned where the peak was, though.
Amount of noise about my same normal levels.
Yeah, same normal levels of noise. Just talking, chatting, gonna do some alien stuff.
All right. Seems like we might be good. Yeah, slightly faster warm-up than I anticipated due to the fact that, hi everyone, I set this game up to run Roll20, and Roll20 is sort of super fucking down right now.
It's perfect timing.
But that's not going to stop us. You know, you're in the dead of space and something breaks in the back of the spaceship. You just got to go back there and fix it. There's no getting around that. It's do or die.
No, but you see, if it's at the back of the ship and you're traveling at faster than light speed, then like it's not even a problem anymore. It's way in the past. It's been going without that thing in the back for years now.
Hello, I'd like to use my mechanical repair skill to fix Roll20.
I wish. Also, yeah, that's probably how causality works, or something resembling that.
I
And hey,
watched Doctor Who. I know my stuff.
Hey, who knows? Maybe the front will fall off, and then it's no longer your problem. Then that part of the ship is in the far, far past. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the month of October. I don't know. I had an intro planned, and then Roll20 fell apart. Now I don't know what I'm doing. It's fine. We'll get there. Hello, everybody. So, welcome to the first in a month of tabletop horror game streams. Tabletop games. And thank you, Zana, for following. So tonight we are kicking off the month with month is gonna have like kind of a sci-fi bent to it, and so we are kicking off with a game of Mothership, a sci-fi horror RPG by Tuesday Night Games. I played this game last year as part of I GM'd this game last year as part of I GM'd the Adventure Dead Planet last year. I think also as the first game. It's super fun. It's not super rules heavy or crunchy. It's fairly narrative forward. It is a game where scary things happen in space and combat is extremely dangerous.
I'm terrified. Let's go.
Let's
All right.
do it.
So I
This
am
game that is clearly not inspired by any major horror media.
No, we are finally going to answer the question that philosophers have been asking for ages. In space, can anyone hear you scream? No one has known this. So I am, as always, your GM, Heretic Soul, or I guess in this game's terminology, I am your warden for the night, Heretic Soul. Let's do some quick intros. Hi, I'm Heretic. Pronouns are he, him. I'm joined tonight by Decimal.
Hello, pronouns are they, them.
And Caliph.
Hi, my pronouns are he, him. I'm very much a Kangi on the internet, and I'm here to hop around and have a good time.
It has been documented. We'll find out how hopping in 0G works. Possibly very carefully.
Didn't know we were supposed to do bios. I am a Kieran. I like long walks on the beach and not getting wet on the beach.
Don't worry, there's no water in space.
Hopefully not. Well,
That would also pose a problem, though, because then what do I drink?
yeah.
I'm not living off energy drinks. I've done that mistake before.
I think that one's going to be contextual. So we are going to be playing a horror game tonight. So before we get started, I would like to quickly address a couple things. First off, for both players and everyone in the chat, content warnings for Mothership tonight are violence, blood, mental strain, alien peril, and mild body horror. If you type !info in the chat, you can see those at any time. And before we get going, I wanted to do a quick safety discussion with everyone here playing tonight. So there are two tools that I use regularly for tabletop games, but especially for horror games. One is the X card. The X card is a now pretty ubiquitous tabletop game rule, and basically the X card is at any point during the game, if you are uncomfortable with something that's happening in the game, at the table, anywhere, you may play the X card, which is just to say you may say, hey, I'd like to stop. Hey, I'm playing the X card. You may say in the chat, just type, X or X card in the chat. You have webcams on, you could like make an X with your arms, but we'll just have to go by text context clues this time around. But basically just say like, hey, I'd like to stop and rewind this. I don't really like where this is going. and we'll stop. We'll pull out of the action. We will roll things back and take them in a different direction. Because as a GM, I would much rather everyone at the, I'm here for spooks and scares, but I would also much rather everyone at the table have a good time and be genuinely uncomfortable. The second tool that we're going to be using tonight is a tool called Lines and Veils. You will, for those of you in the Discord, you notice that there is a channel in the Mothership category called Lines and Veils. So basically, what Lines and Veils are a way of saying these are the things, this is the degree of exposure we want to have with stuff in the game. A line is, if you list something as a line, that is a, hey, this is a line we don't cross. I don't want this in the game, I don't want to entertain it, I don't want to discuss it, let's just not go there. A veil is, I am comfortable with having this in the game, but I would rather toss a veil over it. Toss a veil over it, or pull a veil across it. I don't want the camera to focus in on it. This can be something that we say happens and then just kind of move on from that. So, before we get started, I'd like to do quick lines and veils. If you want to say them out loud, that's cool. If you would rather not say them on the stream, you can just type them into the Lines and Veils channel. The Lines and Veils channel will never be broadcast or read on the stream. So, anything you're not comfortable, stating publicly is okay. I will go ahead and say what my kind of go-to lines are, which are no violence of a gendered or sexualized nature, and no slurs of a real or fictional variety.
Those are good. That completely slipped my mind. I'm mostly trying to rack my brain for, like, physical things. Like, let me see. What sort of things happen in alien movies that I might not be comfortable with in thinking about in depth?
I will also say, like, as a content warning, mild spoilers looking forward, but there are, like, elements of mental possession in tonight's adventure. That will not be something that happens to the players without them explicitly, like, I'm not even going to ask you if you're comfortable with it. It's just not going to happen to you unless you say, like, actually, I would like this to be my character's fate.
Good to know.
But it is a thing that will arise.
Alrighty then.
Okay, so, and also these are not, like, set in stone, so if at any point during the course of play you want to add something to that, go ahead. And of course, and again, of course, like, if something changes and you're like, actually, I'm not cool with this thing after all, you can just, the X card can be played at any time. So, any questions, thoughts, or comments before we get started?
None from my end.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so as I mentioned before, Roll20, I kind of built this game to happen in Roll20, and Roll20 is sort of not happening at the moment. So, I don't know, a lot of stuff seems to be working, but I am extremely hesitant to rely on that for anything at all.
Yeah, it was working fine before today.
I'm gonna broadcast
Roll20
Roll20
this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm gonna broadcast Roll20 to the stream, and I will do my, like, I will try to play with all of us within Roll20. If that doesn't work, then I may just, sorry, I was actually futzing with something there. If that doesn't work out, I will broadcast my screen to the stream and, like, take screenshots of any relevant maps or anything, and paste them in the Discord for, Jesse and Kella, for both of you.
Alright.
Alright, let's get started. So let's
That'll
do...
be fine.
So let's do character intros really quickly. Who would like to give us a quick introduction to their character and tell us a bit about them?
Me, I wrote a bio on my sheet if it'll load for you on Roll20, but I can read through it. So
it has, so you may fire away.
My character is named Aaron Cog. They've been an engineer in the ship for a few years now. He talks to himself and also the machines that he fixes, and kind of like someone who keeps plants. He doesn't like giving back machines once he's fixed them. He gets too attached to them while he's doing that. He grew up with plants, but he hated when they would wilt and die, so he kind of transitioned to machines. He likes pranks. He likes getting his hands dirty, like with oil, not metaphorically with violence. He also really enjoys the quietness of space. He doesn't like smoking. He thinks air is precious, especially in such a limited quantity in space. He thinks pets are overrated and robots are way cooler and better. Like, you could attach a laser cutter to a dog, but you shouldn't do that. But you can do that for a robot, and that's way cooler.
Okay.
Trivia, he thinks that's useless. You should know how to do something, not know something about nothing.
Does he have a pet Roomba?
Ooh, that's a great idea. I'm gonna add that to my notes.
You said didn't like pets, thinks robots are much better, and my mind immediately went to robot pets.
No,
We
that's
have robot
great.
pets.
Yes, A+. And I drew that right before the stream.
Incredible. Nice. Okay, so let's take a look at your character sheet here. So a thing I like about Mothership is that the sort of engineer class is the Teamster. Unions have a very big role in space, apparently. Which is good because this is a corporate space future and kind of sucks. So let's see. Important stats about your character. So you are a Teamster. Your patch is a Viking skull. Trinket is a chipped coffee cup that says "Happiness is mandatory."
Mandatory.
I see you have taken skills in 0G, jury rigging, engineering, heavy machinery, mechanical repair. And I'm not going to go through everyone's equipment in detail because player characters get a bunch of equipment.
They sure do.
I have a vac suit and I go around in space, and like I think the mag boots are cool because I can walk around on spaceships. That's pretty rad. Also, the hand welder and the crowbar are both weapons, which I think is great.
Yes.
Gordon Freeman in space.
Yeah, some of the weapons in this game are very good. Also, while making NPCs, I definitely looked at a couple weapons and was like, all right, a pulse rifle does how much damage? Holy shit. It's a lot of HP. All right, and
it is a gun.
And stress and panic do play a pretty integral role in this game. So every class has a particular feature about them that affects how others around them react to them being stressed out. And the Teamster skill is, once per session, a Teamster may reroll on the panic effect table. What is the panic effect table?
Oh my god, the panic effect table's so fucking scary. There's
Let's
some
find
really
out.
scary things that could happen on that.
Yeah,
Let's see it.
we'll learn how that works together.
Alright, so my character, I just got the name Crossley Mikio, a scientist who is very interested in figuring out the why of many things in the universe. Like, for example, the one that foremost comes to mind, we know gravity is a thing. We can see it. It very clearly exists. We still don't really know why it exists. We don't know why, when two objects are in space, they are accelerated toward each other. And he is very interested in figuring things like that out, in answering questions that have not been answered yet, as to the reasons why things happen, for personal backstory reasons.
This is just because of how, like, my friends and I improvise stuff, but my brain was absolutely certain the place you're going to go with that is, and that's why gravity is the enemy. That's why gravity must be defeated at all costs.
I mean, that might be the way this character goes, depending on how this session goes.
Will not
yeah,
stop until I
very
have
lucky.
struck down mass itself. Sorry, continue.
You're good. I got very lucky with rolling stats in that I knew I was going to be a scientist beforehand, and my random stats roll blessed me with the highest stat being intellect, and I was like, yeah, this checks out.
Nice.
My patch is crossed hammers with wings. I don't know what that means. My trinket is Emmanuel, rich captain, poor captain, blue captain, red captain. I got skills in biology, genetics, and computers, and that was all that I had points for. Oh, and chemistry.
And chemistry.
Chemistry's all the way down there.
Because we are pointing out notable items, you do have a scalpel as a weapon, which is terrifying.
But also gives me +10 to surgery checks.
It's true,
Hell
it
yeah.
does. Some of the items in this game have really fun effects, like a crowbar deals 1d10 damage, but also gives you a +5% to repair checks.
Yeah?
And your stress and panic, the feature of the scientist class for stress and panic is whenever a scientist fails a sanity save, every friendly player nearby gains 1 stress.
Yep. If pretty much the fucking, if the scientist is cursing, you know shit's gone bad.
Yep.
Also, Arkalane in Twitch chat says that apparently I'm a little quiet compared to you and Kelith.
Let me turn you up more then, and maybe even Kelith and myself like down a skosh.
Alright,
let's try that.
Okie dokie then. I also have 270 credits, which I imagine in this hellscape capitalist future is not a lot.
It's enough to get you somewhere. Go ahead.
So I was with my credits, I rolled I think either like 250 or 260, and I'm like, hey, I want to buy some MREs, some ready-to-eat meals, and just have them there for foodsies. I want to have a flashlight, and I was thinking like I wanted something that actually aligns with my character. So one of the things that came in my gigantic equipment pack was a body cam, and I was looking through the store, and I'm like, oh, the heads-up display. If you buy that, you can see through other people's body cams. And I'm thinking my character likes to do pranks, so they probably put their body cam somewhere, wait for their prank to go off, and then just watch it happen through their heads-up display.
That is incredibly good.
That's super good. I like that. Okay, I don't dare say it out loud, but Roll20 seems like it might have stabilized, so we may try playing in Roll20.
Crossing fingers.
Cross your fingers, cross your paws, cross everything you got.
Knock on wood.
Yep. All right. So before we get started, how do Crossley and Aaron come to kind of work? How do you come to work together? Are you? I guess what I'm putting forward is: do you see yourself both as crew on a ship together, or do you see yourself as having like maybe a small ship that can be manned by like a couple people that you're piloting for one reason or another?
I don't know about Aaron, but in my head, Prosley at the moment is mostly like doing big corporate things, like, oh, the big money wants me to figure out how to make this thing that make this adrenaline shot work better so that workers can work for longer with less pay or whatever, and he's just using that as excuse for, all right, since they're giving me the money for this, I'll just tell them I need a bit of extra money and use the extra money on the side for my own researching purposes.
All right.
I think for Aaron, like, yeah. I didn't want to put this directly on the character sheet, but I don't think they're very much a people person. Like, they'd rather just be working, just, you know, fixing up things, talking to themselves, talking to the little robots that they fix. So I think they don't really care too much about the ship at large, but I imagine it would be like a job that probably brought them closer over to Prosley. Like, it's just like, oh, I have to go fix something over here, or like I need to do like a ship locking thing over here, and they might like see them working through a window and get to know them a little better that way.
The thing that comes to mind with an engineer, this is me throwing shit at the wall, seeing if it sticks. Like, a fairly large corporate ship or whatever, like not enterprise large, but large enough that like you won't personally know everyone on it, and Prosley just happens to have a laboratory with some faulty equipment that routinely needs fixing, and so Aaron routinely comes by to fix it.
I'm good with that idea. That's fun.
Nice. So it sounds like you two are probably like on an established crew working together, right? Or at least like maybe you've started on one recently that you like have your own working space on this ship.
That would sound good. I don't know at this point. How does improv work? Yes and yes and
yes and.
I mean, the alternative was the opening of the game is literally like you two were basically contracted for a prospecting mission. We get to the station where this takes place, and it's like, all right, good news, credits have been transferred to your account, and your contract's up. We're refueling here, and you're getting off.
Well, I mean, you're the warden, was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're the warden, so you're the person in charge of the story. So, like, would us having an established ship that we're, like, going to be on help or hinder the story you want to tell?
Neither. It's honestly up to what kind of flavor do you want for your characters. Let's go ahead and just say let's say you are both fairly new crew members on a prospecting ship out on the rim, kind of looking to research newly identified habitable worlds.
Okay.
So your ship is in transit. You are passing through. You are on your way from one place to another. As part of your work. Space is big. Even with cryo sleep technology, it still takes a while to get from one place to another. And you still have to stop to refuel the ship every now and then. Your ship comes out of warp drive and you are awakened from cryo sleep in a system whose only real features are a pulsar and a thick accretion disk around it, like a thick field of asteroids and other stellar debris. Out here in this kind of desolate. Yes.
What's a pulsar?
A pulsar is, and I'm going to make every astrophysicist in the chat, if there are any, mad, probably by oversimplifying this, but basically, it is a kind of star that puts out a lot of puts out radio signals at its poles that rotate very quickly. You can kind of identify a pulsar by hey, that star is flashing a has a pulsing radio signal, which means there's radiation coming out of the poles of the star rotating very quickly.
All right.
But it is a small, bright stellar object, comparatively speaking.
Mm-hmm.
In this kind of thick asteroid field surrounding it, your captain reports that there is a sort of layover station out here. Very early in the expansion into this part of the rim, a massive Jump 5 ship came out here on a prospecting mission and was lost for many years. Jump 5 ships in Mothership are classified as Jump 1, Jump 2. You're probably in a Jump 1 or Jump 2 ship. Most ships are. Jump 5 is hey, this thing is... That's your ship in Elite Dangerous that you, fly across the galaxy. That's your deep field exploration ship.
I have no frame of reference for this.
That's okay. Just it's a ship you would take across the galaxy rather than on short hops. That ship was the Garuda. It was considered lost for many years until it was found again by another prospecting team, and a salvage effort was launched because it's a giant interstellar hulk. And the initial salvaging efforts, kind of the ship that was stationed here first temporarily, then more permanently, transformed from, a ship into a deep field research ship into a station of its own. And now there is a layover station here. I want to say a permanent population of probably around 1,000, but also a pretty healthy population of visitors and travelers staying there for while their ships are repaired, refueled, whatever.
Tourists. Yes.
There is now a station here that acts as a manufacturing station. And kind of a base camp of sorts for mining efforts out in this big field of interplanetary debris. There are lots of you are in the ass end of nowhere, but you're in the ass end of nowhere surrounded by usable and exotic materials. These get brought back to the station, these get run through a manufacturing plant, and they get shipped out in, more easily transported forms to other parts of the galaxy as raw materials. But your captain announces that you are going to be stopping here for refuel and, just casual refitting, make sure everything on the ship is running. Okay, so you'll be here for one or two nights on the station's, on the station's cycle. For simplicity's sake, let's say it has a 24-hour shift cycle.
Yeah, time is whatever.
Yeah. The ship is... The station's official designation on the map is Outpost 99U. Out here, stations don't really get much fanfare in their names. They're just a dot on the map, but, the locals, due to it basically being built alongside the wreckage of a giant derelict mining hulk, have given another name. So as you pull up to the docking bays of the station, a voice on the radio welcomes you to Garuda 99.
Garuda 99.
Garuda 99 is a manufacturing station, where is a manufacturing station ostensibly run by the limited colonial government, but you know their actual reach out here is pretty limited, as the name might imply. It's also home to a you note as you like kind of pull up some information about the station. It's also home to a research and production lab for a corporation in the defense sector called Amidine Amidine Industries. But so you dock at Garuda 99. Captain informs you that you'll be here for about 2 days. Best get yourselves comfortable. Inside the station, habitations are basically the core of the station is comprised of habitation units. Kind of, you're not there long before you learn that is colloquially referred to as the Hive. You soon see why. Everyone basically lives in these little, like, honeycomb style. Basically, if you've ever seen have you ever seen a capsule hotel?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, it is that sort of situation. You're given a cubby hole to sleep and live in for however long you're there.
Boy, someone might think that if this were a movie or something, this could be foreboding.
Who could say?
Foreboding during Spook Month? Nah.
So you got there pretty late in the station's day-night cycle. Also, I just realized I have not been broadcasting game screen to Twitch, so let me do that so you all have something to look at.
They've been having a very good time looking at the equipment sheet.
God, I hope so.
Taking
Anyways,
very good notes.
there is not much to do on Garuda 99, but there is, well, you don't know off the bat if there's much to do. You can kind of talk to the locals if you want to get rumors or information about the station. One thing you do know is there is a place that advertises itself as a bar on the station called The Suck.
Oh
So,
boy.
You kind of have the night to yourself to figure out what you'd like to do while you're here on the station.
Oh yeah, me and the boys were gonna go down and have a drink at the Suck. You coming?
So you mentioned Amidine Labs. Is that?
Yes.
I'm guessing that's just like sort of a private area. I assume, given like the very techie sounding name, they would make some cool stuff. Is that true?
So you notice something very quickly while boarding the station, which is that, you know, in the docks there's like a welcome message playing from the station master, whose name is, everyone just kind of has one name. So you're welcomed by Station Master Lindelt. But you notice that all of the station security are wearing Amidine uniforms, and quickly becomes pretty apparent that Amidine, like, the security office is over in Amidine Labs. There are like if you were to walk over there, you would see that like there are like locked doors over there. There's a locked armory, but like that's where the security office is. Amidine is providing the security and policing for the station.
You did say they were a defense contractor, so
I did, that's
checks
true.
out.
And Aaron, this would also be notable to you that there is in fact a team, like this is a Teamsters shop, and there is in fact a Teamsters union rep here. This is Garuda 99 is, one second, let me pull this up. I don't remember who was who.
Let's go unions! Come on.
Hell yeah.
Oh god, I am blanking on now which. Put that. Lakoa the union rep? No, Lakoa's the doctor. Nadeau is the Teamster rep. Yeah, the local Teamster rep is Nadeau. She is the local 59773651 Teamsters union rep.
She looks amazing.
There's
yeah.
a very good pack of like Mothership inspired sci-fi port. This is someone did that is on it that I've gotten a ton of use out of. They're
Hell
excellent
yeah.
portraits. So yeah, for tonight, the night is kind of yours. There are mentions about something called the Spire. Down at the bottom of the station, up here in the head, there's not really much immediate information about it.
Yeah.
So you can talk to locals. You can go down to the Suck and check out some rumors. You can have a drink. You can just kind of keep to your hab unit for the night if you want. What would you like to do for this night?
I mean,
I think Prosley probably will go down to the bar, and whilst I don't think Prosley is very much a people person, I think when he wants to, he knows just enough about how to, like, small talk with people to, like, it basically knows enough to try and get what he wants out of a conversation, but not much more than that. So might go down to the bar and just, like, learn about this place.
Sure. So really quickly, is Prosley going to drink down there as well?
I personally don't know much about drinking, so I'm going to play it safe and say he probably has one beer that he nurses through the night.
Understandable. Okay. So, if you want to kind of schmooze with the locals and get some information, go ahead and don't minimize Streamlabs Heretic. You need that. Prosley, go ahead and give me an intellect check. So that is going to be, you should just be able to click on it. This is not going to be at advantage or disadvantage. This will just be a normal check.
Modifier 0.
Yes.
97.
Thank God,
Target
roll 20 is
43.
actually working.
That's a big failure, isn't it?
What that means is you don't get anything particularly juicy. Are there any topics you try to talk about with people? Because there is some information I'll still just like give you from chatting with the locals.
Probably do want to know more about Amadine Labs. Possibly, like, might look into. Well, I am a scientist, and if anything, defense contractors are always looking for new ways to destroy things, and they might be looking for some brains.
Well, word on the station is that Amadine's been here for a little while. They have kind of set up their own R&D lab, as well as, in the back of the security office, effectively. Professional operation, not just like a little science lab behind the security desk. And they like, because of the services they provide at the station, they're able to get they're able to make requests on, like, raw materials that come into the manufactory to work on their own, like, weapons development research back there. Word is that the head of security here, that is one Warrant Officer Mazer, does not get along with the station master. It is, despite the fact that they are the station police, it's no secret that the colonial admins on the station and the Amadine goons really do not butt heads a lot. Don't see eye to eye.
Good thing I'm only staying here for 2 days where nothing will go wrong, and then I can put this drama behind me.
Absolutely. And yeah, this is information that can be had for free. Word is that they do have, like, kind of an exotic materials research lab back there as well. Again, Garuda 99 is in the interesting position of being in the ass end of nowhere, but a really valuable ass end of nowhere. No one wants to come out here, but someone has to. All right, Aaron. Anything you're going to get up to over the course of the evening?
So I think of Aaron as a very simple man, and I think the way he imagines places like this, like with a lot more people than he's used to, is not necessarily close to reality. But he's just like, there's a lot of people around here. That means there's probably some seedy people around here, and that also means that there's probably like a secret underground robot fighting ring, and I have to go find it. So when Desi was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the suck, my first thought was like, I would also want to go to the suck to try and find out about this secret illegal robot fighting ring by talking to tough-looking people in the bar.
Hell yeah.
Are you sure it would be the tough-looking people? Do you think the tough-looking people are the ones
Maybe
that
the
have built
nerds,
robots?
actually. Yeah.
Go around and see if anyone has some glasses taped together.
Well, I mean, Aaron, if you also would like to go down to the bar, go ahead and give me an intellect roll to kind of schmooze with the locals.
Schmoozing.
Aaron breaking into the bar with his Roomba with a knife strapped onto it. Who wants to fight?
I'll take all you want.
So no modifiers, no advantage or disadvantage.
Oh, I see that I rolled it and it has not shown up via roll 20. I got
Oh,
an
no, it's
84
happening.
and my target was 35.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So we will, okay, so here's what we will do. For those of you, for players, if you don't have dice on hand, if you just go to Google and search dice roller, you can use a dice roller in Google. Anytime I ask for a check or a save, that will just be, again, 2 10-sided dice, one for the tens place, one for the ones place. We will shift over to that while Roll20 is having a moment.
I mean, I can still use roll 20. Like,
Yeah, it just isn't communicating
yeah.
with each other. Which is,
Understandable.
I'm very happy that we at least have this local version. Hey, look, it showed up.
yeah, there it is.
Woo!
Well, let's keep the Google dice roller or some local dice as a as a backup just in case that falls apart.
I will. I will have it as backup, but I'll
Okay.
also keep using critical to roll 20 because it's convenient.
Sure. So Aaron, do you while you're schmoozing at the bar, do you drink at all?
No, I don't think he would drink whatsoever.
Sounds good. In that case, nobody makes body rolls to see if you wake up with a hangover. All right. So you go to bed for the evening. I am going to ask both of you to make a unmodified body roll. A body check here.
Unmodified.
That is a 25, and my target is 30.
I got a 5!
All right, that's successes all around. So, I have 2 windows open here because I have a backup, but I'm gonna go ahead and mute one. All right. So you both succeed, which means that at about like 4:30 in the morning station time, shortly before the shift change, you are awoken by a kind of like a vibration through the station. You get out of your little you get out of your hab pods, and you notice that some other people are kind of up and about and milling about. If you check any sort of like handheld terminal that's like networked into the station, connected to the station network or anything, or actually if you just go up to like any public terminals or anything, you will see a notice that the first thing you hear is some people groaning while standing around a public terminal, and you see what they are groaning about. Station administration has placed the station under lockdown. All ships are currently clamped into their docking berths.
Ah.
Until further notice, quote unquote.
Is there any more information to be got out of the other terminals? Like, opening up an email, like, here's the reason why. We're looking into X and X.
Let's see. Not immediately apparent. However, you do, like, at one... you do hear some murmurs that maybe something broke down in the manufactory. You hear some murmurs that maybe it was something going on with those eggheads down in the Spire. I guess I should probably give... There's one other piece of information I should probably give you for free. Ammonine doesn't get along with the colonial government. They also don't really get along but don't interact as much with the folks down in the Spire. Spire is like an old part of the station that was once like long-range comms. That's all kind of been centralized at the top of the station instead. But like down here at the bottom of the station, there is this old antenna where a bunch of academics that have a weirdly sort of like weirdly pseudo-religious setup going on are running experiments down there involving like no one's entirely sure what the hell they're doing, but they basically think they have a SETI type situation down there. Supposedly, this is in a really good spot to SETI, search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Basically, they have a setup down there where they're studying transmissions, like radio signals from outside the galaxy that they believe might be signs of extraterrestrial life. No one's entirely sure what to make of it, except that somebody with money is keeping them there.
Of course, the best place to do this is right next to a pulsar.
Sure, why not? Some people speculate that maybe the eggheads down the spire broke something. No one in the HAB units is immediately aware of what exactly is going on. Also, I should probably, if you were down at the bar, I should probably introduce you to a character who you can speak to. Nezik is the local bartender. Oh man, Roll20 is really struggling. That's okay. Nezik is the bartender down at the Suck. They're one of the primary people you got information from last night. They're going to be like awake at this hour, so you can probably find them back down at the bar if you'd like. Otherwise, yeah, in the like, you see kind of off to the sides of the HAB units, you do see like security officers kind of like moving quickly from one place to another, but here in the immediate, no one's entirely sure what's happening.
And given that they are probably one of the few points of contact I met last night, given how poorly I rolled, I would want to go to them and ask them, like, is this a common occurrence, basically? Like, do lockdowns happen a lot?
Sure, so you go down to the Suck where they are kind of, they're like serving coffee or some sort of stimulant that passes for coffee to people who are now awake and I guess not going back to sleep as long as I'm up, you know, shift changes in like an hour and a half. They're like sort of half awake themselves serving stuff. They're sort of like, oh hey, yeah, no, this is a weird one. This doesn't typically happen. Also, God, I'm sorry, I prepped a lot of stuff and my brain's very scattered. Also there is another character that you would have spoken to last night, who was Garcia, who is a charter pilot stranded on Garuda 99. They're a little snarkier about the situation this morning, because they stopped here for fuel and realized that they did not have enough credits to pay the docking fee, so their ship has been impounded here for the last, like, 2 weeks.
That sucks.
So Nezik is sort of like, nope, this is pretty unusual, and Garcia is like, yeah, it's unusual for most of you. Nezik's just kind of like,
expensive is that docking fee?
Expensive enough that they couldn't afford it. Not expensive enough that they didn't have any money to spend on drinks while they were stuck here looking for like, looking for a job like flying mining skiffs or something.
I rolled a dice to see what, in my head, what Crossley's reaction to this is, and I think Crossley's reaction after seeing the barest of information about it is to just like go back to the pod and wait for their alarm to wake them up in the actual morning.
Okay. Ah, shit, I see. The thing I typed into a rollable table, broke Roll20, because I accidentally broke the syntax. Don't worry about that.
Oops.
Well, I'm just gonna roll a d6 then. And I'm gonna consult some notes.
The ever-powerful notes.
But, God, these notes are fucking long. Okay. Crossley, you hear, like, you hear something echoing from the direction of, you and several other people hear something echoing from the direction of Amadine Labs, and, like, feel a momentary vibration in the station. Not as strong as the one that woke you up. Whatever that was pretty serious. Probably been, like 5 or 10 minutes since you woke up, and it's about this point that some colonial admin staff are coming down, and word is starting to spread through the HAB that the station master's office has been like vented into space.
Wow, they're sus. They vented.
The station master's office, does that mean that the station master is now dead?
They're not entirely sure. And security isn't telling them anything.
Hmm. That's... Boy, this sure is a lot of information of a new place.
So far, what you know, the station has been put on. The station's been put on lockdown. You were awakened by a loud vibration, a sudden heavy vibration.
Then after trying to go back to sleep, another smaller vibration happens near Amadine Labs, and also colonial officers coming down and hearing mutterings of, "Shit, Station Master's office has been vented into space."
Yeah, like part of the colonial offices has just been blown open from the side of the station. People are getting nervous now. Some people are saying like, we're gonna head to the docks and try to get on our ship if we can. Some other people are talking about like, hey, are there any other ways off the ship? Some people are like, should we go get security? I don't know. It's not like something's going on down there.
The colonial officers you mentioned, were they just like passing through?
I think some of them were basically like security basically rushed them out of the offices. They're like, yeah, security came up there for something about an hour ago. Then there was that thing that woke everyone up. Some people were like, yeah, I felt something in the station. They're like, yeah, that was Lintel's office being like blown open.
Okay, wait, now I'm a bit confused. I'm in the HAB units.
Yes, rumors are now flying in the HAB units because people came down from the colonial offices saying the vibration that woke everyone on the station up, or everyone who is awake now, yeah, was the offices up above being like blown open by something. And they know that a bunch of security officers ran up there shortly before that.
Okay.
This is also about the time that you hear something echoing from like down the corridor in the direction of Amadine.
That's frightening.
Just to give you an idea of what kind of connections we have here, I'm going to give you a screenshot of in the Discord of the HAB units layout.
Aw, yeah.
Get that info.
Okay. Oh, so it's kind of like a central place here.
Yeah, it is kind of the heart of the station.
Makes sense.
So does the sign of the bar, the suck, also you have quotes around it?
It does not. It just loudly proclaims what it is.
Crossley is interested enough in the vibrations at Amadine Labs. What was that noise? To go and check out, like, to head towards Amadine Labs as far as the locked doors will allow him. And like, if he sees anyone, like, hey, is everything all right over here? What is that? Oh, I think my headphones are low on battery.
Oh no.
Luckily, I am stationed right next to a power strip. Let me just...
Well, the HAB units really are next to everything.
Okay, so yeah, Crossley's heading towards Amadine Labs without trying to trespass, just like as far as regular people are allowed to go towards Amadine Labs.
Sure, and I mean, I will say, like, I'll give you the map of that zone in a second, but like, that is where the security office is. So, like, walking over there is not going to be unusual. If you think someone stole something from your HAB unit, someone will be like, all right, well, security office is down there. Go talk to one of the duty officers there, and they'll put in a report with them, and maybe they'll do something about it. That'd be a first.
I see. So, ACAB is universal.
Okay, Aaron, what are you doing? Are you gonna follow suit?
So where is the Teamsters Union? What section of the map is that in?
They are going to be over in the manufactory.
Okay, because I think from Aaron's perspective, it's just like, I can't get anything at the bar happening. I don't know because you specifically mentioned Crossley earlier with the vibration. So does Aaron really know that those vibrations are happening there?
I think you would have heard that as well. That like echoed through the hab units. Like everyone in the hab units kind of like turned their head for a second. Like, what the hell is that?
Okay.
I'm picturing like the moment we're in right now is like maybe a minute or two after that happened. So like a lot's happening very quickly. Admin people came down from the colonial offices and said like, hey, the station's been like is on lockdown and just got vented. Also, there's a bunch of security up at the colonial offices. I don't know what's happening. And right at that moment, like a kind of distant boom echoes down from the Amadine corridor.
Okay. With that added information, I think I would also head that same direction. I think the mystery would be too hard to ignore. And despite the energy that Aaron tries to give off of being like a cool, like aloof badass who works alone, he's also very into gossip. So he would definitely head that direction.
Okay. So you get down there, and I think perhaps like your decisiveness here, you know, a couple people, as people do in these sorts of situations, a couple people follow suit, but they're like, well, those folks seem to know like where they want to go. Let's tag with them and see what happens. Like very much letting you go first, but you know, you have a small crowd following you. So let me see if I can just pull us over to Amadine Labs. So this is can you see that on the Roll20, or has it not updated for you?
I can see it on the stream, but I have not seen the update locally.
Cool.
Yep.
I'll just give you a
Same.
screenshot then, because that's mostly going to remain static. Okay. So there you go.
Ooh, okay.
In fact,
So we're basically in the security office right now.
Yeah, in case Roll20 updates, and so people on the stream can see, I will go ahead and just and make tokens here. Well, you two are in the security office. So the armory door is still locked. And you get down to the security office, and that's when you hear like what sounds like gunfire coming from R&D, which is unusual. It's unusual to be hearing live weapon fire in a station. Usually, on stations like these, they ask you to like leave any weapons that might be able to pierce the hull, like on your ship, or even like confiscate them from you before you get on board. Usually, people aren't firing submachine guns inside a space station.
That's incredibly worrying, and that's considering Crossley, I think that alone is enough for him to immediately 180 and just like, nope, never mind, going back.
Aaron, are you also following suit?
So we're in the office. It's coming from R&D. Those are very close to each other. Can I also see anything happening at the same time? Like, is there a door, or is it like through like a long hallway? Would I not be able to get any kind of more visual information?
There's a very short corridor that would basically act as an airlock in case R&D is like kind of up against the outside of the hull. So there's a short corridor there that would be enough to act as an airlock in case R&D vented into space. And also like just barely enough to act as like kind of a security airlock, so that someone could like lock the inner door and be like, yeah, no one come in here. The door itself is solid, so you can't see anything. Well, the door itself has a small window in it. You can't. From standing in the middle of the security office, you can't see anything inside R&D, but you do see like flashes of light every time you hear a gunshot from inside.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is there anyone in the security office?
I was about to ask too.
Actually, no. It's weird. The security office is empty.
Yeah, considering the security office is basically the police station, it's a bit weird to go into your local police station and just have it be empty.
Well, there's no one in this room. There's definitely people over in R&D.
No, they're just testing out their new gunfire drone thing.
Yeah, they're really excited about it.
They're just having fun over in the armory, just playing around on their iPhones and just, hey, can you hit that beaker?
So you can hear gunfire coming from R&D. You can like feel it vibrating through the floor. Aaron, you can see that you can, see flashes of light from muzzle flashes through the window leading into R&D. But unless you were to, like, approach the window, you can't see what's going on inside. For now, at least. Any immediate reaction?
Can I roll to resist my own curiosity?
I cannot stop you. You could make a roll for your own sake if you like.
All right, roll 1d10. If it's over 5, I'm gonna go look. It's a 4. I'm getting the fuck out. I'm leaving.
All right, you both
do.
You both fucking book it. Okay.
Whenever I have difficulty figuring out what a character will do, I try to narrow it down to like the basic options. In this instance, do I stay or do I go? And then just arbitrarily assign it. All right, low values I go, high values I stay, and roll a d6.
Yeah.
Any of you have any devices on you that you consider like wireless communications devices?
I'm pretty sure I do. So I have short-range comms. So that's that's ship-to-ship communication, reasonable distance, as well as surface-to-surface within 12 kilometers.
I'm not sure if this counts as communications, but I have a cybernetic diagnostics scanner. Allows the user to scan androids and other cybernetic organisms in order to diagnose any physical or mental issues they may be having, often distrusted by androids. Can be used as a locating device for synthetic organisms. If you are asking if it has voice communications, no.
Nope, just if it is wireless.
Considering it is a diagnostic scanner, I imagine it would have some wireless capabilities.
Yeah, the fact that it says it can be used as the fact that it says they can be used as a locating device says something. I am specifically looking for wireless connections. If any of you point any of those devices in the direction of the manufactory, the screen goes a little staticky, and there is a weird signal coming from that direction.
I know this is the GM putting breadcrumbs, but there's no reason for Prosley to have the cybernetic diagnostic scanner out right now.
Nope, that's fine. That is me saying, if you have any of those things out, that is a thing you will pick up.
Well, how about this? This is you said there were terminals around. Are there, like, is it maybe noticeable that some of the terminals, like, in that area are more staticky than the other terminals not in that area? Like,
no.
In the terminal... Okay, never mind.
So you get back to the hab units. This is when you hear rumors among the people who stayed in the hab units that that any of the, like, escape pods connected to the hab units are also locked down. Quote, until further notice, unquote.
Oh boy.
Okay, well, I'm starting to get a little bit nervous.
There is now officially no way out.
It's going to require, in the conversation you heard, that is going to require, like, admin, someone's like, it's going to take admin level permissions to lift, whatever the hell that means.
Well, I'm pretty sure the admin just got shot into space.
Any immediate thoughts on what to do next?
It's always the Teamsters Union.
So we came here on a prospecting ship, yeah?
Sure, yeah.
What about the rest of our crew? Like, can I get in touch with the captain of the ship I came in on and, like, hey, what's this? What are we going to do? You're the captain. I respond to you.
They're like, I'm down at the docks trying to get let's see if we can do something about this lockdown. There's a lot of other people down here, but Amidine, all the ship, from what I can tell, all the ships are physically clamped into place, and the local badges here have got the docks cordoned off. No one's shooting or anything, but, like, they've got actual gunpowder weapons out. That's not a good sign. No one's trying to, like, rush past them at the moment.
Shit.
If I were you, I would get down here so we can get out of here as soon as possible. Whenever the hell that is.
That tracks. Prosley's gonna head down to the docks.
Alright, Aaron, are you gonna follow suit?
Was I privy to this conversation or no? Was that just a one-on-one?
Crossley intended it to be a one-on-one, but it's the HAB unit, so I don't think he went into his little cubicle to be like, hey,
Yeah.
what the
Whisper,
fuck,
whisper.
what the fuck?
You can also, assuming
So
you
it
two are
was
sitting
probably,
together, yeah, you can also turn and be like, well, Caps, we should probably get down to the docks.
I feel like Crossley knows Aaron, but is not friends.
That was
with
the
Aaron.
vibe I was thinking too.
Yeah, they know each other well enough that if they see each other, they can be like, oh yeah, I know you. Your name's Aaron and you fix shit. And that's it.
All right.
Yeah, I think I would be like, that was scary. I have to go talk to my union person, make sure this is all above board.
Split the party. Split the party.
Vote?
Never goes wrong.
Is that the vote?
I'm going. Crossley's going to the docks.
All right. Crossley, you go down to the docks, and as you do, you see there are Amidine officers here are in various are in two different states of uniform. There are guys who are just in gray jumpsuits with a SMG strapped to their back and a low brimmed hat, who the type, pants tucked into their boots, mostly stand around looking intimidating, enjoy wearing the uniform a little too much. And then there are actual Amidine staff in soldiers, basically mercenaries, basically in battle dress. You start seeing some of the ones in actual battle dress, which is again not a good sign. Two of the ones in just kind of regular security outfits run past you, and so as such they have a radio on their chest on. As one runs past you, you hear a blurb of a conversation that's don't know what the fuck they did, but get down to the spire and find out what the hell those scientists did down there.
That's no good.
Let's cut to Aaron for a moment. Let me see if I can. We'll drag the players over to the manufactory, and I will send you a screenshot anyways. The manufactory really only has one or two habitable areas. The factory floor itself is largely not automated, but remotely operated. You don't walk across a lot of that territory. But the immediate entrance is into kind of into the Teamster shop, which is just kind of the combination break room, locker room, local. Let me pull up the exact name because I like saying this. That was Lukoa. No, not Lukoa. Lukoa was the doctor, right? Nudo. And the combination break room, locker room, shower room, and local 59773651 union office. You walk down there, and as the door to the Teamster shop is about to open, you hear screams and the sound of industrial weaponry, or not industrial weaponry, industrial equipment being used inside. The door opens up, and you see several people, including Nadeau, pressed against the edges of the room. Someone has just been firing a nail gun in the room.
Oh.
And standing in the middle of the room is something that appears to be a combination of black space and television static. Vaguely humanoid in kind of stature, but flickering and fragmenting, artifacting as it's standing in front of you in real space.
Hey Heretic, have you played Kentucky Route Zero?
I actually haven't. I had played episode 1 and kinda was waiting for the rest to come out, and it's very much on the why haven't I finished this, because it's very much my jam list.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was that game, but that description, a humanoid figure that is just TV static, that sounds very much I think either something from Kentucky Route Zero or a similar indie game.
Well, no spoilers, because I do want to play that game one day. Because it's very, I am given to understand it's extremely good. It's
a game. No
All right.
spoilers.
So, upon seeing this, I'd be a little bit scared. And then, like, as
You
far
sure
as
are.
I know,
Hey, Aaron, give me a panic check. Because upon seeing an alien monstrosity for the first time, you should make a panic save or a panic check.
So where do I click on the thing for that? Because I see sanity, fear, body armor. I'm missing where
Let's
panic
see.
is.
That's a good
With
question.
a little handy button.
If there isn't a handy button for that, then it is just 2d10 plus your stress.
Okay. So slash roll.
Stress starts at
2d10
2.
plus
Correct.
2. I got a 13.
Okay. So, the results. Cowardice. Gain 1 stress, and for the next 1d10 hours, you must make a fear save to engage in combat or else flee.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So I'm going to go ahead and roll that d10. The result is a 4. So for the next 4 hours, so I will try to do some time tracking, you must roll a fear save to engage in combat.
That's amazing. I'm writing this down on my notes.
So yeah, with that in mind, how do you kind of react to this nightmare that you've just walked into?
So I'd put my paws around my mouth to sort of stifle any noise and try and not breathe. But the question I was gonna ask was, so as far as I know, has it noticed me, or has anyone in the room being nailed to the wall noticed me?
So no one in the room is being nailed to the wall. Everyone in the room is like shooting at this thing in the center of the room. And let me check something here really quickly. Yeah, so because you walked into the middle of this, we're gonna say without making that fear save, you kind of walked into the middle of a combat scenario. Yes, this thing notices you as you walk in. The other teamsters in the room also notice you as you walk in. Hey Aaron, go ahead and give me a speed check to determine initiative.
Sure.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I'm rolling it. I got
It's
a 1.
happening.
Target 38.
All right, so you will go first, then this thing in the room. Congratulations, you have had your first encounter with the signal.
The signal.
And the other teamsters, of which there are, how many are there? There's Ndo and... I made a work with me here, roll 20, please. A note about how many there might be. Cool. Roll a d4. It is Ndo and 2 other teamsters in the room here. They are going to go after the signal in the sort of order of combat here. So, Aaron, you kind of get to decide what you want to do first.
Fuck. I have no ranged things I could do. It's all melee. So they're in the center of the room. I'm at the end. The other teamsters are kind of on the opposite side of the room. Is there anything near me that might look of like use to me?
I was just about to say, if it's a Teamster shop, then you should check around to see if there's a stray nail gun that you could also
Yeah,
use.
something like that. That is what I was thinking.
Not in this room. In the machine shop, maybe.
Okay, let me look at the map again. That's pretty close, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the next room over. So I think the way we're going to, because again, I've kind of thrown distances out the window here. The way we're going to do this is you could say, check what your actually available actions in combat are. I would say if you said I wanted to move to another room, everyone would still take their turn in combat. But then like you would then start the next round in another room. And so the way the way that manifests is like, then if say, like putting alien monstrosities aside, say someone with a knife was chasing you. If that person with a knife wanted to pursue you, you would start the next next round in the other room, and the only thing they could do is then follow suit and say like, well, I'm going to move to the next room so that next round I'll be in the same room as Kelif. So you could.
So from what I remember reading through the thing, it essentially boils down to 2 actions you can do in a turn. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to move towards the machine shop because I think that is my best course of action. I don't want to be really close to this thing and then try and weld it or crowbar it. I don't think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But because I can do two things, I want to try and Dead by Daylight flashlight it as I run by and see if it does anything.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, yes, draw its attention.
All
Make
right.
it notice you.
Well, then other people will be able to shoot a little easier too.
All right. What are you gonna do this with?
I actually have a flashlight I bought at the shop.
Okay. Well, I won't make you roll for that. I'll just say like it doesn't really react to the flashlight.
Okay.
It's a good thought. Okay.
Doesn't even look over. Doesn't acknowledge at all.
So you will start the next room in the machine shop, but for now, things that happen in the Teamster shop still are interacting with you. You're in the door about to run into the next room.
Okay.
So now it's the Signal's turn, and the Signal, I don't tell the Signal what to do. I have an AI table for that.
Ooh, neat.
Okay.
So it didn't respond to the flashlight. So good news. I think it's blind.
It did not respond to the flashlight. Well, it didn't respond to the flashlight, but it does have, rolls a d6, 5 eyes in its weird staticky face.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if this is coming through on your end, but what I rolled on the stream, was the Signal Whales. So, the Signal pulses out like, you can tell the Signal is transmitting from its body, which is weird because you're not normally able to sense that sort of thing. It's a sensation like static that can be felt behind the eyes. Aaron, please make a fear save.
Yikes!
Oh my god, I got a 73. The target's 35.
All right, that is 2 stress.
Okay. We're up to 5.
Exciting. Okay.
I love being stressed.
I'm gonna have Nadeau take the turn for the group here. Right. I gave Nadeau a laser cutter.
Ah.
Sounds like me.
That sounds a bit like Dead Space, you might be thinking. Let me put it this way. A crowbar does 1d10 damage. A pulse rifle does 3d10 damage. A laser cutter does 1d percentile damage.
Oh.
Or 1 mega damage, which means a single shot from a laser cutter can deal 1 HP damage to a spaceship.
Fuck.
I forgot I gave Nadeau the big gun. Well, Nadeau's going to take a shot at the Signal.
How does a percentile dice work?
That's what we've been rolling. It is a D1. It is a D100 basically.
Okay, so
two D10s that form a D100.
A laser cutter can do anything from 1 damage to 100 damage.
Potentially, yes.
So we got a fucking Mr. Game & Watch side B move.
Let's go.
Kind of. Nadeau's combat is 50, and Nadeau rolled a 45. This is important. So also, I will say for combat purposes, the way I'm playing with very simplified NPC rules, which is that NPCs can have a health value, but NPCs mostly just have hits. For example, like the grunts from, I want to say Armor Krog, that's not right. The grunts from Amadine, they have 2 hits. If you hit an Amadine grunt, an Amadine badge twice, they are out of commission. That knocks them out, down and out.
Gotcha.
So, I'm marking 1 hit on the Signal, and I'm also making another roll on behalf of the Signal to see if a thing happens.
Scary.
All right, the beam from the laser cutter, like, Aaron, you notice, you are in the room just long enough to notice this, that things hitting the Signal, like, they're passing through it, but, like, nails are coming out the other side of it, dented and falling to the floor. The laser beam, like, slows down as it goes through it, and it briefly, like, distorts in space, and kind of lets out a lesser version of that whale that it did earlier. It's not fully in your version of real space, but guns seem to be hurting it.
Okay.
So, next round starts. Aaron, you are in the machine shop.
Okay, what do I see?
I'm gonna say in here are... Also, while we're doing this, hey, Prosley, anything you would like to be, like, any discussions you would like to be having or anything you'd like to be working on your end up at the docks?
Not really. Mostly just, like, pacing back and forth, waiting for permission to get on the ship and leave.
Understandable. You maybe hear something crackle on a radio about something happening down in the manufactory.
Oh boy, shit's popping off, isn't it?
So, Caliph, in here you see crowbars. I'm gonna say there's a... I'm gonna say you see crowbars and nail guns. Go ahead and give me, if you would, a... Go ahead and give me a speed check. And we're going to say this is you rifling through the room quickly. There's probably something really effective that you could use as a weapon in here. The question is, how quickly can you find one?
I rolled an 11, and the target's 38.
That is a critical success. Yeah. If you... The way Mothership works is if you roll doubles, that is a critical whatever. If it's above your target, it's a failure. If it's below, it's a success.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say, on top of the nail guns and crowbars, you also find a plasma cutter. Or a laser cutter. What is it called? What is it?
Laser cutter.
It is the laser cutter, yes.
Also, Heretic, do you mean to be streaming just the player survival guide?
Yes, right now I do. I switched back over to that for our searching.
Okay.
So yeah, congratulations, Kelly. You are now in. You can grab one of these items. You are now in possession of either a crowbar, a nail gun, or a laser cutter. You can grab one of them this round. You could theoretically
a laser cutter.
Yeah, you could theoretically stay in here multiple rounds and just like arm yourself to the arm yourself like you went down to the fucking DeWalt Armory and loaded for bear.
So, this might seem like a weird question. How well does it look like a laser cutter slides on the floor?
That is an interesting question. May I ask why you're asking?
I was thinking, like, well, I'm filled with a fear, specifically for the next 4 hours to engage in combat, and I think I'd be scared to actually try and fight, so I would definitely have a thought of, hey, is it just easier to give this to another non-Nado teamster in here, if I could get it into one of their paws?
I think you could do
like
that.
I could like throw it or roll it on the floor over to them.
I would say like
weapon.
Passing that to them would be an action that you could take. So what is your action going to be this round?
So it was essentially one action to scavenge, and then I can do one more. Is that right?
Yes, but you are now in a separate room from the teamster shop. There's like there is like a short corridor separating them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely. I think time is of the essence, and for me to try and get like more than one, I think I don't know. I don't think that would work out in the moment. I think it'd be too stressed. I would be like, weapon, good, grab, give to person, go. I think it would just be very short, simple commands going through my brain. So I'd grab the cool, sick-ass weapon and then just run back.
All right, so for the sake of the one shot, I'm basically going to play this where some action is only happening when you're in the room. So I'm not going to roll on the Teamster's behalf. I am going to roll to see what the signal does, because that could prove pertinent. The signal flickers in place, so it stays in the Teamster's shop. So we move to a new round. Aaron, you're back in the Teamster's shop. It's still there.
Here, catch this dangerous weapon.
Because I get 2 actions, I think I would have enough time to just be like, run out to be like, do any of them have like, because they work in the Teamster shop, right? The other non-Nado people, would they have like a frickin' just name tag? So I could be like, hey, Bobathew, this is for you.
No, absolutely. Like, one of them's like close enough to the door when you pop out that you could like pass it to them. As you pop out, Nado shout like, lay into that fucking thing. What are you doing?
I'd be like, no, Bobathew's got it, don't worry, and I'll just give them the weapon.
Okay, so that is one action on your turn. You have another action that you can take.
You heard her, Bobathew, go get him!
Yeah, can I motivate them to give them a better chance to hit? Is that a thing?
Oh boy, let me see. I don't know that you could really do much to. A motivational bark would not really be enough to count as assisting in this scenario, I think. Malicious static from outside reality is attacking.
Fair. Whoa, wait. So if I give them the cool weapon, I get their nail gun, right? We can just trade.
Yeah, sure. I'll call that action.
Then yeah, I'll give them the cool weapon. I'll take theirs and I'll attempt to shoot through the fear at them.
Okay.
I have to roll a fear save, correct?
I was gonna say since we kind of fudged that and you're already in combat, you don't have to roll a fear save to remain engaged.
Okay.
You are in the combat initiative right now.
So is this a combat roll then?
Yes, you are until you or the threat leaves the area, you are currently engaged in combat.
Oh, let's go for the tiniest number I have. Yeah, that's not a go. 73, target 22.
Oof. Oh wait. Okay. Yes. Well, so I do need to roll. Okay. Right. The way combat works, I'm supposed to roll opposed checks, and I forgot to roll an opposed check for whatever. It took one hit. Now that's information that you have. I'm gonna roll for it anyways, just to get myself in the habit of it. So yes, the way combat works in Mothership is when you're attacking someone, you roll an opposed check against them. NPCs just have kind of a raw combat number. Wow, the signal rolled a 72, which is also a failure on its part, so you did both fail. So nothing happened. It is, unfortunately, the signal's turn in the initiative now. What does it do? What the dog doing?
Can I put Bobathu in front of me?
Well, that may prove unnecessary, because what the signal does next is, with kind of like a static screech, flickers out of reality.
Okay, so it's time to leave.
Okay, I need to re-roll that because I just rolled that it flickered to the same module on the station. Which, no. Excuse me? Hold on. Okay, it has left the manufactory, finally. At least the manufactory re-emerges. I said at least the manufactory reappears again. I said!
I said Horatio dies! I only know that reference from a friend. I've never actually played that game.
Okay, so, Nadeau was just kind of like, what in the fuck was that?
I don't know, but I'm kind of scared of just what happened here.
Yeah, well, what the fuck, man?
I don't know. You looked like you were fair and okay.
Nadeau doesn't really have a lot to say. Nadeau's just kind of like, well, shit. All right, you two, and I guess if you want to stick around here, go to the machine shop and grab everything you can from there. That we might be able to use as a weapon.
Hell yeah. I'll go along with that.
Nadeau kind of talks as you work. Their plan is they don't know what the hell's happening on the station. Apparently what happened is they were in the Teamster shop trying to decide what to do about this lockdown situation when that thing just kind of flickered into space in the middle of the room. So I take it back. There is a body in the room.
Yeah.
But you only notice it now. It was there when you arrived. You would not have noticed it necessarily when you came in, though. Apparently, that thing flickered into reality, got close to one of the other Teamsters in the room, and Nadeau wasn't really sure how to describe it other than got inside of him. He looked in that thing's eyes, and it got inside of him somehow.
Okay, so maybe I want to go to the docks now so I can try and leave.
And that the Teamster that happened to like immediately turned on them. Kind of in the heat of the moment, they shot back at him. Everyone is still so hopped up on adrenaline that they're not entirely sure what's going on. But it knows, like, yeah, so the way I see it, we got two options. We can try to cut our way to the docks with what we got here, and see if we can try to, I don't know, cut the clamps or something and get off this goddamn station. Or we can take what we have and go try to storm the security office and get some actual firepower, and who knows, maybe find an admin terminal there that can lift the lockdown.
As someone who was in the security office earlier, I don't know how well that'll work out. There was like a bunch of muzzle flashes coming from inside R&D, and I just kind of ran.
Yeah, well, that doesn't bode too well. Prosley, up at the docks, this is where you get confirmation that that there was weapons fire, question mark, from inside the manufactory. And then also another Amidine badge, like, shoulders past you and you hear over the radio, like, it's back in security.
Huh. That's weird. What's back in security? Dramatic irony.
Do you want to take any action up there? People are really unsure about what to do. There aren't as many people trying to, like, get to the docks at this point. There are still some people who are, like, demanding that security let them by, but...
Is there a terminal nearby?
Yes.
I don't have hacking, but I do have computers. So I'm gonna just get on the computer and just, like, click around, navigate on stuff, and be like, hey, what's happening? Has anyone been sending just open messages on the forums that I can just look at?
So are you just looking for, like, public messages talking about what's going on?
I think that's the only thing I can do, because, like, I don't have skills in hacking, and hacking is specifically unauthorized access, so I only have access to what everyone has access to.
So you could still attempt to make that. You just would not have as much of a... The fact that you don't have the hacking skill doesn't mean you can't hack. It just means you don't get the benefit that having hacking would confer to you.
Ah. Well. Also, considering they have communications, I guess also the next question is, who is the person who's sending an email about the super scary thing happening right now?
But you have to, yeah, you would have to find that. For? I would let you, because you don't have hacking, I would let you, a computer, right? We don't use the computers and networks. I would let you make that as, if you didn't have computers, I would say you could make an intellect check at a disadvantage to try and hack, because you don't have hacking but do have computers. I would say you can still make that intellect check to break into the system if you want, hack the planet as it were, just without the bonus of that trained plus 10 bonus.
Yeah, sure. It is something for Prosley to be doing, and maybe he will get information out of it.
Okay, so let's say, it sounds like what you are saying is you want to get, like, station logs about, like, what's been going on for the last, like, couple hours. Let's say it's been 30 minutes since you all woke up.
Yeah, that sounds good. I don't know enough about the setting to know what I'm looking for, but hack.
That's fine. We can make some what's the word I'm looking for? Opposite digital. Some analog computational stuff up. Alright, go ahead and give me an intellect check. No modifiers, no advantage or disadvantage. Please.
I got 54 and my target is 43. That's a failure.
You are locked out, unfortunately.
Nothing happens.
So, is there any, do you want to stay here, or is there another course of action you'd like to pursue?
Prosley wants to stay close to the ship, because, like, if something goes bad and there is the ability to leave, Prosley wants to be able to just, like, book it to the ship, shortest possible distance. Prosley is absolutely going to stay at the docks, so if there's anything else at the docks, then Let's see. Load bay, docking terminal, bay, I cannot think of anything to do, at least, at the moment.
I'm gonna say basically there's one security guard here who's keeping everyone back at the door from the security checkpoint into the hangar bay. And so far, the only reason anyone hasn't pressed by is because they don't know what's going on elsewhere in the station. No one is in full panic mode yet.
Right.
So like
I'm panicking.
yeah, you could take actions here at the docks. You could leave the docks and go to a different part of the station. Also, Aaron,
So-
are you like on the radio about anything that's going on?
Yeah, I was sort of waiting until we did stuff with Desi, but I would definitely just sort of call and ring and be like, "Yo, crew, like we gotta get out of here."
So, actually, real quick, about the docks layout, where is the security guard keeping us back from?
I think they're basically like, you see, there's like a corridor between the. Okay, so I should also apologies. I forgot to put a little like legend on these maps. Any line is a corridor. Any line with a like line across it is a locked door, and any line with a circle in it is like, hey, you could basically climb outside the station and make your way from one part of this module to the other this way. So you are at the security checkpoint right now, and there is one guard, armed with an SMG, yes, but one guard keeping people back from that corridor leading into the hangar bay.
Okay, so pretty much all of the docks is off limits right now.
Yeah, they're so far known as being physically restrained, but the power of authority with a gun is keeping people back right now. That could change if word gets out in the crowd about what's going on elsewhere in the station.
Yeah, well, right now, all I have heard is Aaron on the radio saying we gotta get out of here, and yeah, no duh, we all want to leave. I think just back on the radio, like, we're trying, they're not letting anyone through. The ships are still clamped down.
I'm coming over there. Like if I just try and talk about it over here, like you're not gonna believe what just fucking happened. I gotta see you face to face.
All right.
Alright.
All right. The party is unsplitting. Let's say we take a quick 5-minute bio break, and then
Okay.
when we get back, Aaron, you will be back with Crossley up at the docks.
That sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good.
Everyone on the stream will be right back. And we're back.
Welcome back, everyone.
That we return to Crossley and Aaron reunited again, once again at the docks. I'm gonna say up here, it's probably like your crew and one other crew trying to get out to the docks. Other crews, there may be like one or two other people milling around, but like other crews that may be gone back into the station to see if they can find another, I don't know, something else to do. Crossley, I will say, I don't think you have talked to the security guard yet. Your captain's just kind of been like, security's not letting anyone out onto the docks yet.
Yeah, no, definitely hasn't talked to him.
I'm gonna make a roll really quickly. Wrong table. That table. Alright. So, you are... Aaron, before you left the manufactory, did you give any advice to the other Teamsters on what the best course of action would be?
I would definitely be like, bruh, just like come to the docks. Like R&D's a shit show. You already have some weapons that you can use to fight it. Like I think we should just all try and storm the docks and leave.
All right. Is this the information you pass on to your crew?
I mean, I would tell I think what I said before the break still stands, of just like, if I try and tell you what happened over the radio, it's not gonna hold. I have to tell you in person.
Okay.
And I'd say like, yeah, I'm coming up with some Teamsters too.
Oh, you were just like, hey, you should just come to we should just try to go through the security checkpoint?
I mean, I don't know what else to try. That's what I would suggest. I don't know if they would listen or have different things they would want to do.
All right, well, Crossley, Aaron shows up with the... 1 second. Aaron shows up with 2 Teamsters and the local 59773651 union rep in tow.
All right, that's people.
The floor is yours.
So, Crossley, I needed to tell you this in person and to have backups. Summary, shit's fucked. Details, shit's fucked, and there is a creepy, weird, white noise-like monster who's immune to flashlights. Like, I'm out of ideas of what to do if they show up.
Give me a second. Hold on, out of character, give me a second. Where's the fucking... Crossley looks to the security officer, edges a bit closer, and asks, "Is there perchance a gas leak?"
The security officer's just kind of like, what?
Is there anything that would cause mass hallucinations?
I don't know. I mean, sure, tons of stuff. It's an industrial station. There's probably some sort of chemicals or some shit down in the manufactory that would cause that. I don't know. And
now, I think seeing Aaron and 2 friends armed with a bunch of, like, manufacturing tools jury-rigged to act as weapons, Crossley doesn't exactly want to antagonize and tell him he's not in his right mind, but also, okay, Aaron, so, where was the monster last?
That's the thing. They were in the Teamsters union shop, and then it was just gone. Just disappeared.
I see. Well, maybe it's gone. Maybe it vanished into space.
I mean, we can cross our fingers and pray, but I don't know. I'm not fully sold on that idea. I'm full of fear, and I wish to leave.
We will leave as soon as we can, but the security officer says that we can't right now. Some checks and such need to happen first.
tremble.
But I think what's most important is you are not in danger here. We're at a security checkpoint, and we have the security officer. It is a very safe place right here, so we can probably.
I don't know. I don't know if "safe" is the right word. Like, I saw. Well, not me. The Teamsters saw a member of their team get possessed by spooky static lad, and then he turned against them and he tried to hurt them, and they had to shoot them instead. There was murder. There was death. This is not safe.
And Aaron has just told Presley, "Yeah, we had to kill a friendly." I see.
Also, you are here with the security officer who is looking very anxiously at 3 Teamsters who appear to be... You usually don't think of people as armed with industrial machinery, but they appear to be armed with industrial machinery.
And have just said, "Yeah, we killed someone with these." Fuck. Presley, I think, is at a bit of a loss for words. That sounds very troubling.
I am full of trouble emotions right now.
I'm sure. It must not have been easy. Kind of steps back closer to the security officer.
I'm gonna make one more roll really quickly here. Okay. And it's about this moment, I think, that you hear a voice from the hall behind you from the entrance to the security checkpoint bellow, "What the hell is going on down here?" And the security officer's kind of like, "Oh, thank God." You turn around to see the head of security for
Oh my
I'm
God,
forgetting
it's
all my words
Xehanort.
already. For Garuda 99, with two armed and armored badges in tow. This is Warrant Officer Mazer, who is looking at the 2 civilian crews who are just kind of in the middle of all this. Several armed, several Teamsters who look like they just walked out of Dead Space, standing, and you two standing in the middle of this security checkpoint. They're just like, "Why are you all blocking up the security checkpoint?"
Well, it's not much of a checkpoint if we can't leave. It's not really doing much.
Well, then you've got no reason to be here.
Yeah, but I have a reason to be not here and be gone.
We are trying to leave, and we are very pressed to leave, so we are waiting in the hopes that soon the security checkpoint will open up and we may leave.
There's a bit of radio chatter, and Mazer's eyes go a little wider, and he says, "Okay, well you can wait down in the halves. I don't have time to wrangle people around up here, and if you're not going to get anywhere, then there's no point in congregating out in front of the docks. Now I suggest you all get going."
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Prosley's just gonna start heading for Habs.
Nadeau, at this point, barks out, "The hell we are! We gotta get people off of this station, Mazer."
Oh dear, interpersonal conflicts.
Any reactions from either of the player characters?
I just
Frost
go,
starts
"Yeah,
walking faster."
yeah." I egg them on.
Nadeau and Mazer are about to go at it, when abruptly there is kind of a shimmering in the fabric of reality in the middle of the room, and the signal reappears in the security checkpoint.
So I did say I was walking away. Would you say I've far enough away that I'm gone, or?
I'm gonna say you are going to roll for initiative now. If your one action is going to be, "I'm gonna leave," you can do that.
Well, when the moment Mazer said you should head back to Habs, Prosley started doing that.
I think you're probably like at the door leading out of the security checkpoint. So I guess I'm asking, do you just want to bail on this?
I would, story-wise, I would like for this to be, oh shit, it's real.
That's fair. You could duck out if you want.
No, I mean, like, confirmation that Aaron is not hallucinating, and oh shit, there is a fucking monster on this. We need to get the fuck out of here.
You see this. You do see this. Aaron, you're still in the room when the signal reappears, but you do have to roll a fear check to see if you enter the combat order or not.
Fear check. Fear check.
Ooh, I got a bleed for that. Roll 20.
That's a big fail. 77, target 35.
That's a critical failure.
That's a big time fail.
Right.
Let me see if there's something that happens when you roll a critical on a fear save.
A critical fear check. I'm pretty sure I pissed my pants.
I mean that is probably true. Let's check on. I scrolled too far. Alright, saves. If you critically fail a save, you'll have to make a panic check. So good news. You fail, so you flee combat, and you have to make another panic check.
So that's 2d10 plus stress, correct?
That is 2d10 plus your stress.
I'm rolling the dice. That's a 20 even.
That's a 20 plus your stress, which you are at, what, a 5 now?
I already added it.
Oh, that's a 20 total. Okay. 20 is rattled. Let out a blood-curdling scream. Disadvantage on all rolls for 2d10 minutes. So you scream and take off after Prosley.
I think with Aaron taking the lead, that's enough for Prosley to be like, what the fuck, whatever the fuck this is, it has Aaron absolutely fucking spooked.
Rattled.
I'm out.
And for the next half an hour, you do all rolls at a disadvantage.
So I'm afraid in combat for the next 4-ish hours and disadvantage on all rolls for 30 minutes. Let's go.
Okay.
God, Aaron's really got it tough.
I thought when I made this character, I'm like, they're so cool. Nothing will rattle them. And then the adventure starts.
Everyone thinks that they're hot shit up until the signal shows up.
That's great. I love failing in tabletop.
I really do appreciate, sorry, tangent. I really do appreciate the creative GMs that take failure as a further means to get creative as opposed to just, oh, you don't do the thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and like, I was excited when I did my stat rolls yesterday, and I'm like, oh my god, 3 of them are below average. This is amazing.
Okay, you and probably your crew book it down to the HAB units, so,
Yep.
I'm running.
I think on the way...
Stakes are now painfully apparent.
Yeah. On the way, probably, like, trying to shout to Aaron if he stops screaming, what the fuck was that?
/ roll 1d10. Do I stop screaming? Yes, just for a moment, I'm like, ah! Well, that's the thing I was telling you about. Ah! And, like, going back to screaming.
Very interesting. God. Alright. We make it... Is there
also, look at the fucking panic table on the stream if you haven't. Literally 30 plus is heart attack, you die.
Yep.
Fuck.
I think it's so funny.
It is possible to just bite it. It's not good.
That's real bad.
I have 1 free reroll.
That's true, you do. Alright.
Per game.
So actually, I should have asked. There are 2 paths leading away from the docks. The colonial offices and the HAB units. Where I made the assumption that you were heading to the HAB units. Is that where you're going?
I'd probably the HAB units because colonial offices got blown the fuck up.
Yeah, and like we also, when we went that direction, we saw the, oh, I never ended up mixing up locations. But I mean, the dude told us to go there, and like I think in the moment I wouldn't be thinking. I would just be like, run away and run towards the HABs units.
Alright. You get back to the HAB units, and your crew are very much in the same kind of boat. Just like, what the fuck was that?
It's the thing. It's the thingy that made me all scared and scream and stuff.
It can teleport?
Yeah, and it's immune to flashlights.
And you said earlier it possessed a crewmate.
Yeah, like, so according to the Teamsters, I walked in the middle of this. It just went into one of them, and then he like turned evil and he started fighting the other Teamsters, and they had to take him out.
What on earth are we dealing with?
Well, we're not on Earth. That's the problem. I don't know where this thing came from.
Turns of phrase aside, is God, how does anyone here know how to manually or otherwise disengage the clamps for the docking so that we can get out?
I'm good at jerry-rigging, engineering, heavy machinery. I might know something like that.
It is at this moment that someone, like a couple of the like people from the from the like admin staff, walk around the corner with somebody in a vacuum suit carrying a. Let me check the name of this thing. Carrying a. What was this thing? A rigging gun, which is basically a harpoon gun, spacesuit size harpoon gun, and wearing a vac suit rounds the corner, and like. If you have a radio on, you don't hear it through their helmet. You hear it through your radio. They say like, I think I might be able to help you with that. They take their helmet off, and you would have seen like their picture somewhere. You recognize the person in the spacesuit as Station Master Lindell.
Oh,
cool! They didn't die.
Yeah, very fucking nearly.
So
Mazer
was
had his
this,
way, I
like,
would be
an
dead right now.
assassination attempt to try and get you out of there? Is that what happened?
Now is really not the time for a full explanation, but let's just say Mazer's been trying to undermine the Amadines had their eyes on this station, making the station their own little R&D department for a long time, and basically one of the only things keeping them from just buying the whole damn thing out is that somebody is paying a lot of money to keep those eggheads down at the Spire down there. God knows where the hell they fit in all of this, but all I know is that something happened in the Spire around 3:30 this morning. Something nightmarish, whatever the hell we're dealing with now, that's where it came from. And Mazer decided that a crisis was the time to come and strip me of all my authority. Him and several other armed goons. Thank God someone from my staff told me ahead of time I had time to throw on a vac suit, just to be safe. Some idiot threw a grenade, blew a window open, and, well, now half my office is vented into space.
This is too much. Do you know how to disengage the locks on the ships? We need to leave.
Lindell walks over to a terminal, says, yeah, it's real easy. I've got access to the entire station. I can just tap, 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 tap. Well, shit, Mazer stripped me of all my credentials. Alright, we're either going to need to get access to an admin terminal, or we're going to need to cut our way out of this ship. Cut one of these ships out of here. The only two terminals that could lift lockdown access on the station are in my office or in the armory back at the labs.
Hey, Aaron, what? You found like 2 of those laser cutters. This is out of character. Like, you know about the laser cutters, right? Mm-hmm. Like, would your character in character know how long it would take for that laser cutter with 2 of them, like 2 people with laser cutters to cut through the locks on the ship?
I think he would have a pretty good idea working with heavy machinery and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so DM, how long does Aaron think it would take to manually cut us out?
With 2 people working, that would be 2 full turns, assuming you succeeded on rolls to cut the clamps.
That's not very long at all.
Let's see. It's going to be 1 turn for each of you to cut. You have to succeed on the roll for it to work.
I was expecting it to be like a matter of hours.
I mean, if we were playing a longer game, I might make it more complicated than that. But I'm going to say it's going to be 1 turn to cut each clamp if you succeed on a roll to make the cut. It's going to take you one turn to then like move from one clamp. Each ship is locked in. Like your ship is locked in with 4 clamps. With 2 people, you would each take 2. So you would have to. I think it would be a full action to make that cut. So then you would have to spend. It would be a full action, a full turn to make that cut. Succeed on the roll. You'd have to redo it if you fail. Take a turn to move over to the other clamp, assuming that we're in like a combat scenario, and then same thing over there.
So we can either go deal with the clamps, or we could go down to the spire, get some answers. Maybe they have I don't know. Maybe they're just too long gone. I don't know what happened down there.
A weep of decision making.
Crossley is interested in going down to the spire to learn why the signal is here.
Alright, is that where you would like to head?
In character, I imagine there's more conversation that happens of, like, since, what's her name? Lindhart mentioned the spire and that being the impetus for this, and apparently the impetus of the signal. I think that's enough to, like, with all of this adrenaline happening, just enough to spark that scientific urge in Frosty of, like, wait a minute, we have an origin point now. If they did this, then surely there is more information we can garner about it. I think it would be worthwhile to go down to the spire to learn what we can about this monster. Perhaps we can find a way to send it away, or find some means of keeping it away from us.
You know, I think that's a good idea. You know what they say, a criminal never returns to the scene of the crime. And maybe this applies to weird static monsters too. Maybe it's safer down there somehow.
Was that supposed to be sarcasm, or it's difficult to tell with you.
No, this is what my whole heart believes.
That doesn't help. Station Master Lindhart, do you think it would be... Do you agree with me that it might be worthwhile to go down to the spire to at least learn the origins of this strange thing we're dealing with now?
Fuck, I don't know. The situation's pretty bad down there. That's where this thing first popped onto the station. We don't have any cameras or anything down there at this point. I don't know what the hell happened down at the spire. I know the scholars, they call themselves down there, have kind of been operating on their own. It's kind of their own corner of the station, really. They've been using an old comms array down there to pick up, they said, some sort of transmissions from out, pick up and try to decode, they said, transmissions coming from outside the galaxy. I haven't really checked in on them in a while. I know they all come from some sort of hoity-toity academic background. I don't know that we're gonna find much about how to get this thing off the station down there. I, for one, am for lifting the lockdown to get us all off there. If you were to go down to the spire, no one's really... Again, we haven't really been down into that section of the station for a little while, but it's one of the oldest parts of the station. It used to be our long-range comms. Word is it might kind of have its own docking bay that might be separate from, based on the way they set everything up down there, might not be affected by this lockdown.
I mean, a docking bay itself is not a solution. We need a ship at the docking bay.
Well, if there's a bay down there, there's probably a skiff dock to it. We don't really mess around with them too much, honestly. They kind of give me the creeps. Word is they've got their own way of getting supplies on and off the station. They might find a way out. Hell, you might find an escape pod that's not locked down at the very least.
struggling for in-character reasons to go to the Spire. Because, like, that's really laid it out real nice and simple. Like, yeah, Spire's kind of useless to go to, but
I mean, I will say out of character, there is a potential exit down at the Spire. There is information to be gathered at the Spire. It is dangerous.
Yeah, it has been clearly laid out that there is a much easier means of getting out, either cutting through or just finding the nearest admin terminal. Going to the Spire is entirely optional, completely dangerous, and would require a fuck ton of mental gymnastics for anyone to convince themselves this is the clear course of action.
Well, also this thing is flickering around the station. Technically, nowhere is safe right now. In fact, I'm kind of shocked I haven't rolled to have units yet on the teleportation table.
Yeah,
well,
but
one positive towards the Spire that I don't think we've
This
mentioned.
roll doesn't count. I'm rolling to make sure the table's working.
So,
okay.
One positive thing about going to the Spire we haven't mentioned is that if Mazer is the evil behind this, he's not going to be down there, and that's one less problem to deal with.
that's true with the intrapersonal conflicts.
And we have the shipmaster here. They know, or the station master. They know everything there is to know about the station. If there's a safer way to get there, or like a hidden thing that might help us out, they would be the one to know.
That is a good thing. What does Station Master Lindhilt say about that? Like, hey, the person trying to kill you is probably not going to be at the Spire.
Oh. I don't know. That still leaves a lot of people on the station. I'm going to patch you into my personal channel. We'll be in touch. I'm going to take some of my people and we're going to go try to storm the security offices. I honestly don't know that it's going to be much worse over there than it is down at the Spire. The whole station's a fucking mess right now.
That sounds like that's going to be a firefight.
Extremely non-zero chance. Only thing we got working in our favor is that a lot of Maze's people are running pretty scared right now. And if what you just told me about this thing teleporting around the station is true, not just Mazer's people we have to worry about. The longer we're here, the more dangerous the entire station becomes.
All the more reason to get up as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess that is... I guess we will part ways then. Would you be able to...
I mean, you could... Do you want to, like, make a roll to convince her to come with you? You could try to talk her into it.
What would that be? Intellect?
That would probably be intellect, yeah.
Alright. Sure.
And, yeah, make it a flat roll.
Flat roll of intellect. Hey, that's a 13.
Oh.
That's a success.
Since she's an NPC, does she make a contesting roll, or is it just a number I have to hit?
Nope, this is not opposed. It's just you talking to her. Actually, just for funsies, I'm gonna make a contested roll against her.
Yeah, I feel like, in general, from my viewpoint,
against her instinct.
not as a DM, but like, if you're just trying to convince an NPC who is on the fence, I could see that being justified as just a flat number of getting them motivated.
Wow.
If they want to actively do something else,
Yeah,
then,
no,
like,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it still worked out because you astonishingly rolled higher than her. So, she's sort of like, well, I mean, if the rumors about there being a skiff down there are true, that'd be enough to get some of us off here at least. Maybe at least get a help signal out. All right, beats nothing. I'm with you.
That's
go.
good, because I'm not comfortable wielding a gun, and having you as firepower would be very nice and good, reassuring.
All right. Station Master Lindhilt has joined the party.
All right.
Doot.
So we got Prosley, Aaron, Chief Master Lindhilt, no,
I'm gonna say it's
Nadeau.
primarily going to be you taking the point. Oh yeah, you do have Nadeau with you as well, yeah.
and two other teamsters.
For simplicity of keeping track of a big party, I'm only going to keep track of critical NPCs and PCs. I'd say
Got
everyone
it,
else is
Alex. We got-
everyone else is doing the like following at a distance thing, but like
So we got 2 red shirts.
Yeah, you four are on point, and everyone else is gonna follow when the coast is clear.
Okay. Well, as the person taking point, I'm going to tell Station Master Lindheld to take point because she's the fucking station master and knows where she's going.
All right, down to the spire it is.
I really hope we can slay it.
Here's hoping.
Never played that game.
So,
Hey, Roll20 updated. I can see the spire.
yeah, it seems to be mostly working now. Fingers crossed that holds true for the next half hour, however long we're
I
here.
love the name Scriptorium. That feels so fun to say.
Yeah, so everything down here is technological, definitely an academic setup, with a weirdly sort of almost religious deference to it. So you enter the spire control, and it is a mess. It looks like a fight of some sort happened here. There are 2 bodies on the ground that you can see. Check a GM note real quickly.
That's not good.
Right. No, that was for. Don't worry about it. There are 2 bodies on the ground here, and in the middle of the room is the room is trashed, and in the middle of the room is a person. This is Asher, sitting on the floor. The people here have weird outfits. They are wearing something that kind of resemble. I tried to channel a little Panos Cosmatos with thinking about these people. Think about them as wearing things that look like hazmat suits, but if a hazmat suit was like a nun habit.
That sure is an image.
Yeah. And in the middle of the room is Asher, who is just kind of sitting on the floor shivering with their hands clasped over their mouth.
If no one else says anything, just kind of call out, "Hello? Are you all right?"
Asher, keeping their hands clasped over their mouth, just kind of shakes their head, stops, tilts their head to the side. Doesn't super seem like it.
So I reach into my bag and I'm like, I know times are tough. I don't know if this will help. It helps me in the hard times. And I pull out my chipped coffee cup that says happiness is mandatory. I'm assuming this is not gonna help, but I had to do it.
Do you hand it to her?
I just sort of hold it out like a Vanna White, just sort of displaying it.
She's kind of furrows her brows and looks up at you what?
So, see, it got you talking. I think it was a good idea.
Oh no, that's the expression. She does not talk.
Okay.
That hand is firmly clamped on her mouth.
Never mind then. I was going for the absurdism of what the fuck are you doing to try and get something out of her, or out of them. Sorry.
Well, you did learn something, which is that it is going to be very hard to get her to take her hand off her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I guess ask them what happened.
Still covering their mouth. He just kind of looks around. Or they look around. Their eyes pass over the 2 their 2 dead, I don't know, coworkers, I guess, on the ground, and they glance back at the scriptorium door, then look at you and shake their head.
Did something happen in there?
Violent head shaking.
As in up and down or left and right?
Left and right, and also kind of a sound. And when they realize they're making that sound, they kind of clasp their hand tighter over their mouth. Lindhout looks around the room and is well, the way further down the antenna is through the, I don't know why the hell they call this scriptorium, but through the scriptorium. I think there's also If we get outside the station, there might be a way to climb past it all the way down to comms control at the end of the antenna. I don't know, this looks bad in here. What do you think?
I think we should stay inside the ship if we can help it. But is there a reason you aren't talking? Does sound attract it?
They look at you and kind of screw up their face like they're trying to figure out how to convey it.
I mean,
and then they kind of like
fire control.
Yes, you are in Spire control right now.
Do we have paper and a writing utensil?
Yeah, you could find something for like hand to them to write on. They write down. It lives in the signal. It gets inside you.
That is cryptic and unhelpful. It gets inside. Aaron, you said Nadeau, you said the signal got inside your crewmate?
Yeah, try not to think about it too much.
So, did it enter through their mouth or nose? Is that why they're covering their mouth?
With all due respect, I know we're working together here, and I don't mean to kind of throw a wrench at the works, but how the fuck should I know?
I'm just throwing
I
ideas out there.
I operate the factory floor. I don't know how the fuck it got to him.
I look to the woman on the ground that, out of character, we know is Asher. The person on the ground, not binary.
They've got a name tag on.
Okay, and just
hello, my name is Asher.
And just ask, do you know more about this thing? And prompt for the writing.
They write down, I saw inside of it, and then write, I don't know what will happen if I speak.
Do you mean it possessed you? Did the thing, did it get inside you?
They make a, like, sort of frenzied shrugging motion and shaking their head like they don't know, and they just kind of, like, tap on the paper that they've written down again, like, I'm afraid to what will happen if I speak. Lindhelt kind of, like, pulls you aside for a second and is like, that's the like chief comms officer down here. If there is spooked, whatever happened in the next room had to be pretty fucking bad.
So I have a vac suit and mag boots to go on the outside. I don't know if anyone's going to be in the same scenario I am.
I mean, Lindhelt has a vac suit.
That's true. Lindhelt is still, like, prepared to exit this. For expediency's sake, we will say Lindhelt is prepared to exit the station with you, should you so desire.
But we only have the two, correct?
Let's see.
As in, like, the two vac suits.
Yeah, unless anyone else has a vac suit in their inventory. I don't think Nadeau or, there are no additional vac suits in this room, and Nadeau and, Crossly, unless you have one in your inventory, neither of them are vac suited up.
Nope, I only got a hazard suit.
All right. What you think?
So, I'm scared. I think, considering the cruel, cold vacuum of space, it's probably preferable to look into the scriptorium and determine, based on looking into there, if we want to brave the cold, hard, dead vacuum of space.
Sure. You want to take a look?
How does the door work? Is it
similar?
It's corridor. Is there no door, or?
It's similar situation to at the most of the rooms in these modules are connected by, like, little short, maybe like 10-foot long corridors with a door on either end, and each door has a small glass window inset into it. Again, the sort of doors where if the adjacent room or vented into space. This could act as an airlock to secure the rest of the station. So
Okay.
you could walk up and like peer in the window.
I think I do want to make the remark, you know, Station Master Lindhelm, for someone who is supposed to be Station Master, you're deferring to someone who just got onto the station not less than 24 hours ago, very often in a crisis situation.
Yeah, well, I was in space half an hour ago. What the fuck do you want from me? We're all in the same boat
Authority!
here.
I want you to have authority!
Fuck. Look, I push papers and press buttons all day. I'm not exactly fucking fine. Well, we came this far. Aaron, what do you think? What do you think? We push our way through the scriptorium, or we try to climb our way on the outside and hope there are vac suits on the other side for everyone else?
So would I know in character, or I guess Linhart would know that the comms controls on the other side, and like
Yes.
having that information, I don't think there would be vac suits in there. So I think I would at least want to look into the scriptorium and sort of make a decision.
All right. You take a peek into the scriptorium, and there are roll a d4.
Danger, danger.
There are 2 other researchers inside in that weird pseudo hazmat. The same weird pseudo hazmats. They don't see you, of course, but space around them seems to be kind of flickery and staticky.
Oh dear.
Okay. Danger.
The scriptorium itself is as trashed as Spire Control. You can see one of the only things you can really see. You can see that there are like very old and possibly very valuable looking artifacts in there. There is a large whiteboard with what looks like language written in some sort of pictograph written on it. That gets very messy right at the end of it. And that's what the scriptorium looks like.
Well, the last time I decided to go alone anywhere, it did not end well for me. And in fact, I'm going to be emotionally scarred for a very long time. So I'm wary to do it again, but the cold vacuum of space kind of seems appealing in this moment.
That's a fair choice. But, just so you know, cold vacuum of space means that you're going to be on your own for a while, and to get back to more friends will be the cold vacuum of space again, or going through the room with 2 non-friendlies in it.
Well, I think, Lindhart could come with me into the cold vacuum of space, so it'd be like cold, then also warm, only if we held hands, but I don't think now's the time.
Just between you and me, I don't think Captain Linhart's very good in this crisis situation.
If there is, I will say, if there is in fact a skiff docked down at the end of the spire, an old skiff that no one has really gone into in a while, there's a non-zero chance that will have vac suits inside.
Well, so here's my concern. So if I leave, and then even if Linhart leaves, that's 1 or 2 less people here in this room, just in case anything bad goes on. And they have less resources to help deal with possible problems. So that's my concern, is that even if we have the possible thing of success of finding the skiff, maybe coming back with some vac suits, what happens in the meantime?
Complications, I imagine.
Yeah. I am scared either way, but I think given all the information at hand, I think it's best to try and go through the scriptorium instead of splitting up.
Before we do that, I just want to ask Asher one more question with the pen and paper. Do you have any idea of what it wants?
Asher, more calmly this time, shakes their head.
Damn.
Asher
Well.
pauses for a moment, grabs the pen, and writes down, "It's trying to enter our reality. Beyond that, we don't know.
That is very strange. The concept of another reality, of a being from another reality trying to enter ours, that is very strange.
They tap a thing that they wrote down before, that they wrote down initially, which was, it lives in the signal. I think the way I phrased it was, like, the way they wrote it was, it lives in the signal.
Mm-hmm. It lives in the signal. I mean, with knowledge of computers and science and stuff, my brain right now, out of character, is going like, well, I mean, signals are basically just like waves in all forms. They're just waves, and you can cancel out waves with another wave. So I wonder if we could do something with that, but
Heretic,
out
did you
later.
write a horror one-shot where 5G is the real enemy?
I may have accidentally done that, but it's Alien 5G.
Alien 5G. Why isn't it turning me into a
Oh.
space crocodile?
You even called it Jump 5 ship at the start of the session. It was a hint. I should have
That's
known.
true, I did. All right. So, it sounds like the idea is to push through the scriptorium.
Mm-hmm.
That what you're thinking?
And
All right.
I recommend the people with weapons to take point.
All right.
Important question, only because of previous events. How long has it been since both of my timed things?
That's
Such
a
as
great
the next
question.
4 hours. I'm assuming it has not been 4 hours in game. But what about the disadvantage on all rolls for 30 minutes?
Hey,
I think
you
it
know
is-
what?
I think it has been 30 minutes, so I think you're good
Yeah.
now. I think it has been about an hour. I think you're an hour and a half into your 4 hours.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? Actually, that's a good point. Are you sure that your fear of combat is not pushing you towards the other option out of sheer like, I don't want to fight, I don't want to fight, give me space, give me space?
Honestly, I think it would. Where's my 1d10? I'll do a weighted / roll 1d10. Damn, I rolled really high. Never mind. I'll push through it for the power of friendship.
All right.
Because I
Power
was
of
thinking, my
friendship.
thought was like, if I roll less than a 9, like less than an 8, I'll do it. I'll go into space, but
Power of friendship. Open the door, toss your Roomba with a knife inside.
it just close the door, like put my
Go get
hands
him,
like
buddy.
that, as like it's over, it's done.
Go get him.
All right. Well, who's going into the scriptorium then?
All the NPCs, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, like, legit though, the NPCs are the ones that have guns and combat training. We don't, so I feel like the real logical course of action would be like, there's 2 people who might be unfriendly in there. Can you go in first and check it out, and then signal to us, if it's clear?
Okay. Lindheld is going to suggest, like, well, all right, if we're going to go in there, then maybe you at least want to, like, try to get to comms control in case we don't make it through to the other side.
So by which you
two-pronged
mean,
approach.
okay, yeah, but there's only the one entrance
Into
the scriptorium.
yes. But Lindheld is suggesting, well, okay, if we're going in, if Nadeau and I are going in there, I could give my vac suit to somebody else, and maybe 2 of you could move your way along the outside to try to get around the scriptorium to comms control, in case we don't make it.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That does make sense, but also, oh my god, spacewalking. Alright. That's a no. That's a hard no. Crossley's like, nope, 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 not me. I am not the one going out into space. Nope, nah.
Okay. Well, Lindheld and Nadeau are getting ready to storm the scriptorium, when abruptly you see that same flickering in the middle of Spire Control, and Asher goes into a panic as the signal appears in the middle of the room with you.
Fuck.
Lindell just shouts, "New plan, cheese it!"
I am down for this. Do I need to roll a speed to cheese it quickly?
And Lindell and Nadeau run like hell for metal, ready to go guns blazing into the scriptorium.
I have not heard this slang of cheese it before. Cheese it means to run?
Yes.
I legit have not heard this before.
Yeah, I have no idea where it came from, but I picked it up through cultural lexicon.
Same.
All right then.
Okay.
Yeah, I will also. What did you ask us to make a roll?
No. I just said Nadeau and Lindelt are like, I think Lindelt like grabs Asher by the arm and they both like run into the scriptorium ready to just like shoot their way down to the end of the spire.
I think I'll just stay behind them. Just try and stay close.
Okay. Well, the 5 of you, the only 4 of whom are really combat capable, enter the scriptorium. And now we roll for initiative, as you are all engaged in combat.
Speed roll.
Aaron, you have to give me a fear roll. I'm gonna say since the signal's behind you, if it fails, you won't run away, you'll just kind of cower in the corner.
Alright, here's the fear roll. Oh my god, I got a 1! Let's go.
That's a success.
Hell yeah!
Congratulations, you get to fight.
Oh my god, I get to be here. Now I'll do my speed.
I'd like to thank the Academy. Yeah, so both of you give me a speed check. This is for initiative.
I rolled an 8.
I rolled a 43.
Alright, so Aaron, you will go before enemies. Prosley, you will go after, and I'm gonna roll for Nadeau and Lindelt. Let's do Lindelt 4. Or Lindelt first. Everyone just has a raw 20 speed. Lindelt will also go after. Nadeau will also go after. So Aaron, once again, you go before everybody, and then everyone else goes after.
Place.
There are 2 researchers in here. So,
what all
Aaron.
is in the scriptorium?
This is where they were doing some sort of translation work. There was some comms equipment, but this seems to be mostly where they were like patching through stuff that they were picking up on from comms control and doing, it looks like, linguistic and translation work.
So almost nothing for combat.
Not particularly. Also, the room is trashed.
Right.
So grab our NPC here.
Question.
Yes.
Well, never mind. You continue to describe, and then I'll ask it.
I mean, we're in it now. There are
Okay.
two researchers in these weird pseudo-religious hazmat suits, both armed with revolvers. So they do have personal sidearms. But Aaron, you go first.
So, how close are they to any surface and/or wall?
The room has a lot of tables and countertops, so very close to surfaces.
Okay, I have a nail gun. I think you see where my attempt is going to go.
Yes,
I would like
also
to shoot and try and make them stick if possible.
believe if you, let's see, can the nail gun do that if you get a crit? Because that would be really funny if it could. No, unfortunately, the nail gun is not powerful enough to stick them to the wall. But you do have someone with a, well, as an action, you could do the Halo thing and like swap weapons with Lindhelt if you wanted to, because she is carrying a like space harpoon gun that could be used to pin somebody down.
What's the damage roll on that, just for mechanical sake?
So see, actually, neither of these can pin people in, like, to us. Well, let's see. If you wanted to pin the, oh no, Adobe, please don't do this to me right now. I leave multiple documents open in Adobe for a long time. Sometimes it flips out at me. It's like, I've run out of memory, and it's like, I fucking bet you have. Alright. Let's see.
So I'm looking at the rigging
Yeah.
gun right now. It's
The nail
still
gun is-
2d10.
Yeah, nail gun's 2d10. The rigging gun is 2d10 on a crit. It
On a
impales
crit,
the target.
impales.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I mean that's cooler than my weapon. So if they're cool with it, I'll do a little hand me off.
Yeah. So all right, take an action to swap weapons there, and oh my god, you gotta restart Adobe Reader here really quickly.
That's okay.
Yep.
I have my weapons list up right here. We're talking about the rigging gun.
All right, go ahead then and give me a roll for give me a combat roll.
All right, this is my worst stat. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
89. It's not happening.
Oh dear.
Unfortunate.
Even if I had good stats, that would not have worked.
All right. Well, it is now both of the enemies' turns, so we're going to go with, I named these NPCs Seers, so we're going to go Seer 1 and Seer 2. Seer 1 is going first. Seer 1 is going to target Aaron as you just shot at them with a harpoon gun.
Fair.
So this is a combat roll against, let me double check. I believe this is an opposed roll, but it is opposed against what exactly here? Da-da-da. The attacker makes a combat check against the defender's armor save. Okay, so Aaron, let's see, do you have an armor save value?
I have a 35.
You do. Okay, so I'm going to make a combat check for our Seer 1 here. And you are going to make an armor save, and that's going to be our opposed check. So they barely succeed. If you succeed but roll higher, they miss.
Okay. It's going.
Thinking.
No, I rolled lower. I got a
Dang.
17. That was really close.
All right. In that case. Yeah, all right.
Hey, is it stressful to get shot at and take damage? Just wondering.
You know what? It is, but I don't think this is, well, actually, hang on. Is this a good time for a fear save?
I love rolling on the panic tail.
I'm gonna say yes. Let's make because you are being attacked for the first time this session technically. Give me a fear save.
Okay, so that's it's fear save. Let me click that.
Yes.
That's a big old fail. 61.
All right, that is 1 stress.
1 stress. Okay.
All right. So now because let's see. Yep. They succeeded on their attack, so now I'm going to roll damage.
Let me open my calculator app.
Oh, right. I can just click on the revolver and make a combat attack with the calculator. Okay, well, that is 8 damage.
Okay.
Ouch.
Fortunately, you do have a goodly amount of health.
Mhm.
And Seer 2 is going to take their turn, and they are going to attack Prosley with their revolver.
Oh dear.
So Prosley... Yeah, this is a ranged attack, so you would give me an armor save.
Alright. Do I do that now or after the attack?
You can do that now. It's an opposed... It can happen asynchronously. It's an opposed check, so... Go ahead and give me that.
That's a fail. Or wait, no, I got mixed up. No, it's still a failure.
That is a failure, but they also failed their attack, so the bullet whizzes past you. Do give me a fear save, though.
Phew. Fear save. Also a failure.
All right, that is 1 stress for you. Oh, also,
Goes up
sorry,
by 1.
Prosley, I forgot to ask you to give me a panic check for save back when you first saw the signal for the first time. So let's
Oh shit, right.
retroactively do that now. So don't include this 1 stress that you just took, but go ahead and give me a panic check or a panic save.
What
Plus
is that
your
again?
that is 2d10,
It's 2d10,
and then
yeah.
add your stress. So I believe you started with 2, so 2d10 plus 2. The result is a 17. Gain a new permanent phobia. Whenever you encounter this phobia, make a fear save at disadvantage or gain 1d10 stress.
Is there a phobia table to roll on?
I'm
Don't
actually
remember
checking to see
seeing
if there is one. There doesn't seem to be. So, congratulations, you have a phobia of 5G now, I guess. No, what would be fitting for seeing something apparate out of like
Considering
static
the
its
thing
way
itself,
into reality?
maybe considering the static and its appearance, do you think maybe trypophobia?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think so
yeah.
because I do specifically have a note for the signal that it has 1d6 eyes, and that's not a single roll. That is every time you see it, it has 1d6 eyes.
That's neat. All right, yeah, trypophobia.
It's constantly shifting and fucked up.
That's neat.
NPC trait, fucked up. All right, and now we get into, I'm gonna blitz through the NPC combat here. Not Mazer. We don't need Mazer. Mazer's probably dead by now.
Let's celebrate.
So
Make
Nadeau's
hype in chat for Mazer being dead. I'll start.
gonna go first. I'm not gonna roll the opposed check because Nadeau failed their roll. And Lindhelt is going to go. Lindhelt also failed their check, so I'm not going to make the opposed roll. Oh shoot, I jumped the gun actually, because Prosley, it is your turn. I should have had you go before the NPCs.
Okay. So, signal behind me, these guys in front of me. You said there was some comms equipment in here?
There was. It looks like this is. There isn't like long-range communication stuff in here, but it looks like this is where they brought recordings from what they picked up on the long-range antenna to listen to and then try to decode.
Would I be able to, like, mess with the recordings? Like, play them back reversed or pitched up or down or something? Just as a pure shot in the dark.
You could spend your turn to do that. I would say give me an intellect check, and do you have any skills that apply to that?
I've got computers.
Sure, let's go for that. So that's a give me an intellect check, and
with computers plus 10%, so
yes, modifier 10. Or I don't know if it's plus or minus, but just put in 10 and see what happens. Yeah, it did have the 10. So that is a success. So you play the. So tell me what you do.
Well, hearing it referred to as the signal and being smart enough, I guess, genre trope savvy enough to put pieces together of like, okay, Spire, hearing signals, playing them back, trying to decode shit, picked up something that they weren't supposed to, summoned or some such, whatever reason, played a signal that made this thing appear. If I mess with that thing, can I hurt it? So, just go for any recording equipment nearby and just start, like, pretending it's a fucking recorder. Press play, fast forward for a few seconds, rewind, change speed, fast forward, play, stop, rewind, fast forward. Just continuously messing with the stuff that they have.
The recording that you're playing causes the enemies in the room to themselves kind of like flicker for a moment. The effect that has is that all of you will get to take initiative before the enemies for one round.
Nice.
Ooh, shit.
Actually, I like random dice rolls. Let's make a dice roll out of this. 2 rounds. For 2 rounds, you get to go first. And with that, the round rolls over. So, Aaron and Prosley, it is your turn.
I'm gonna try and use my cool harpoony gun. What was it called? Rigging gun.
Rigging.
Rigging. attempting a combat roll. Nope.
Dang.
That's
All right.
a 50. So I get a second one, is that correct?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't think there's any rule against like attacking twice.
Let's go for it. Oh, it was worse.
Rip. Okay. Prosley, you are up.
Can I try and like hone in on like this what I did that interfered with them?
I'm gonna say go ahead and take your computers, but take that at a disadvantage to amplify that effect.
All right. How do I? Oh, it's just gonna roll it twice. Okay.
Yeah, so it'll roll twice, and we take the worst result. Oof.
That's a no.
Unfortunately, you are not quite able to lock it in on a. So that's one action I'm gonna say, and then you aren't able to quite lock in on like what the how you can use the signal to manipulate them.
Okay, so considering my character is really not combat oriented, okay, scriptorium, tons of script and paper around. Start looking through the scripts and stuff and see if there's any hints or anything about like, did they find something new and exciting recently that they were going to look into? Stuff that seems to be recent that hints at a link to the current happenings.
Give me a unmodified intellect check.
That's a big no!
Alright, shit. I don't just want to tell you, like, no, you don't do anything, no, you don't do anything. There is something here, but you can't quite find it.
Okay.
So that is NPC turn. So, let's see. Lindhelt is going to go first. So, raw combat roll. Lindhelt succeeds. Does the seer succeed in the opposed check? No. Lindhelt takes the nail gun that you gave her, Aaron, and the force of the nail hitting this possessed researcher just sends them sprawling.
Let's go.
One hit, they are down. So there's only one seer left, which means that Nadeau is going to take her turn. Nadeau succeeds on a combat check. Now we make the opposed. The opposed fails. So,
Get fucked!
Nadeau fires the fucking laser cutter, which, like, burns a scar across the room, but does take down the last remaining researcher. You are
Well,
out
we're
of
also
combat.
equally amazing.
So, with that, Lindhelt is sort of like, well, I could have gone fucking worse.
Hey, out of character, wasn't the signal behind us in the spire control?
It was, and it was not part of this combat. But now I'm gonna roll on its table to see what happens.
Oh no.
It leaves the spire. You are safe for now.
For now.
Okay, but also, like, we still know it was there behind us, so,
Yes.
like, look behind, like, wait, is it still there? Where is it? Where'd it go?
It's not. Nope. Wherever it is, it ain't in spire control.
Okay. Well, I guess onwards.
Yeah, this is a stroke of luck. Let's just go.
All right.
Into comms control.
Intercom's control. This room is not trashed. Whatever happened in Spire Control and in the Scriptorium didn't happen here. This is all actual comms equipment. There's a lot less to actually like pick through here. There are some external hard drives hooked up to control panels. That's most of it of what's in this room, honestly.
Alright. So since we know that... So with this not being trashed, but the scriptorium being trashed,
that absolutely narrows it down to, all right, shit went down in the scriptorium and then navigated up.
Yep. You have enough information to make that leap.
Crossley, I'm not going to roll for this. Crossley is going to say, y'all keep looking. I'm going to keep looking in the scriptorium to see if we can find more info on this thing. And steps back in. I'll yell if I'm in danger. And starts looking through the papers and stuff again in a much less frantic manner, since not in combat.
Asher follows you and immediately tries to, like, with their bare hands, start, like, wiping what was written on the whiteboard off, and seeing you, like, start to look through the papers, like, runs and immediately starts trying to pull them from your hands.
But, I think definitely puts up a little bit of a fight, like, but we need to know more about it. If we can learn about it, we can learn how to defeat it, send it away, understand it.
Asher shakes their head, finds something to write on, grabs it, and writes down, like...
There's a whiteboard.
Yes, but Asher's trying to furiously erase what's on the whiteboard. Asher's trying to, like, throw the whiteboard over. Asher writes down, It came when we translated the signal. And then writes down, we spoke it here.
I think that's still not enough for Crossley. Just like, but why? I don't know what exactly he says, but the general interaction that I imagine happening is Crossley just brushing aside concerns like, all right, that may have happened, but this looks very unprofessional, not very scientific at all. I imagine that if I could just get the information, I could isolate it, I could learn more about it, I could do it in a much more controlled manner and learn about it.
Asher is, like, furiously shaking their head and, like, removes their hand from their mouth, like, balls their fists, grits their teeth, and almost unconsciously kind of goes like, ugh, like, opens their mouth to just, like, groan at you, and then realizing what they're doing immediately claps their hand back on it, because when they open their mouth to groan, static comes out.
Now that's interesting.
And with the static, the signal appears in the room behind them.
Well, there's that lovely creature with one eye.
He has one eye this time, yep.
Fuck.
Astonishingly, it ignores both of you and walks into comms control.
Ah, fuck.
You are all gobsmacked to see this. I'm gonna make a quick, like, coin toss here. It enters the room and then, like, flickers in space and appears right in front of Station Master Lindelt. Who manages to stay in control of her faculties. Looks into the eye as they both seem to kind of flicker in space for a minute, and then she, like, pulls herself away and, like, throws herself across the room away from it. Yelling, what the fuck?
That sounds like an appropriate reaction.
Yeah. I'm definitely full of fear right now.
I will say, now that you're down in comms control, there is one, like, airlock leading outside. I think that looks like an airlock leading outside, but if you were to look through it, you would see on the other side of it is an empty room that appears to have been used for storage. But Aaron, you know enough to know what the inside of a cargo skiff looks like.
Mm-hmm.
There is a ship down here.
That's great
our escape.
news. And it won't be locked down here, unlike the ones above.
Probably not. So, the signal is in the room with you. Are you going to try to fight it, or are you going to just book it out of here?
Oh, I'm a book it. You saw me last combat round, miss 3 times in a row. I learned my lesson. I'm running.
That's understandable. Crossley, you and Ash are on the other side of it. I'm gonna have Lindhelp. Outside of like combat rules, I'm gonna have Lindhelp make a reaction because if she can hit it, that might buy enough time for you to get past it.
I don't think Aaron said that he saw the cargo skiff, so I don't think I know that there is a cargo
Oh yeah, that's
skiff.
true.
So
Well,
I think
okay, so you and Asher are still in the scriptorium.
yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. Aaron, you have identified that there is in fact a ship down at the end of the spire here.
Mm-hmm.
Crossley, you and Asher are in the scriptorium. The signal's not in the room with you, but it is in the room with Aaron, Lindhelp, and Nadeau. So,
Before Asher can stop me, I'm gonna keep looking, keep searching. That's another fail.
you can just grab some of the stuff that's here. You don't know right now if any of it is particularly important yet.
True, just grabbing a bunch of random papers and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know about the cargo skiff, so at the moment, Crossley's mindset is get more information, learn its weakness, learn how to manipulate it. Information, learn why. And the information is here in this room.
I mean, I will say out of character, there may not be a solution in this room.
Out of
The-
character, there may not be, but
Yeah.
I mean,
That's fair.
in character, this is where it started. Like, out of character, this might be where Crossley bites it. But in character, this is where it started. This is where the solution has to be.
All right. Well, in the meantime, Aaron, Nadeau, and Lindhelp, the signal's in the room with you, so you three enter combat.
So do I have to do another fear check at the start?
Yep, give me that fear save.
Let's go for it. I actually hope I succeed on being fearful. 93.
All right. You flee. Where do you flee to?
Well, I want to run towards the direction of that skiff, if possible.
Yep, you can get on board that. So you are outside of combat. Do you wait for everyone when you get there?
So I would like look around and see like it's not locked down on the inside, right? Like it seems like it's possible to get this up and going.
Nope, it's not locked down. You think you can power this puppy up and get off the station?
All right, I would just yell out to the other two of them. I'm like, I'll get everything set up. You just get everyone in here. Let's go. Shoot at that thing. I don't care. It'll go away at some point.
Nadeau yells into the scriptorium, "We're getting the fuck out of here!"
All right. If Asher doesn't do anything to stop, Crossley's going to spend
Asher's
5
kind of-
seconds.
Yeah, Asher's kind of
grabbing
frozen
as-
at this point.
Yeah, 5 seconds just grabbing as much of the paper as much of the notes and stuff as he can, and then just like runs through comms control, papers just kind of comically flying behind him and running for wherever is supposed to be the fuck out of here.
All right. Well, as you book it, I'm gonna have Lindhelp and Nadeau take one last shot at at this thing. Actually, I think I already had. Yeah, Lindell rolled a 49 over 40, so Lindell did not succeed. Does Nadeau shoot this thing? Nadeau might.
Maybe.
Believe.
Nadeau does, astonishingly. Nadeau barely does.
The disrespect.
Which means we remove another hit from the signal. And the signal, like, warps with the impact and flickers out of space once more.
Cool. Good job.
Perfect time to leave.
Yeah.
Nadeau has been like MVP.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So, you all board the skiff. Aaron, you can get this thing in a matter of minutes. You can get this thing powered up and at least enough power to get away from the station and put out an SOS signal.
100%. That's what I'm doing.
All right.
And Asher is on the skiff as well.
Yep, Asher is kind of locked up and just following whatever directions are given to them at this point. So, they follow suit. I mean, unless anyone stops her from getting on.
Oh no.
No, but also
Russell, you were the
on
only
this
one that was with them when they opened their
Yeah.
mouth and static came out.
yeah. Is there a first aid kit?
Sure.
I'm gonna take some gauze, and like I'm not gonna be able to force her, but like offer it to her as like maybe this can be a more effective gag.
If you like motion to put the gauze over their mouth, they meet your eyes and then just like make no resistance, just kind of like give a little nod.
I apply it as a gag.
All right. Well, the 5 of you drift away from Garuda 99, having put enough distance between you and the station to be out of harm's way, or at least it
Hopefully.
seems. Asher is still on board
Dream.
with you, and Prosley did grab a handful of notes about translations that the team in the Spire was working on of the language that they were picking up in the signal that they were tracking from outside of our galaxy.
Mhm.
There are rations on board. They're old, but you know, it's mostly stuff that doesn't really go bad.
Twinkies.
Prosley, you're able to assess it like, this might not be good for you, and we might have some stomach problems, but it's not going to kill you if you eat it.
Guess who bought 7 MREs from the store? I did. There was no water in the store. I actually didn't understand how to get water for the trip, but I have food at least.
There's probably a recycler or something you can make use of. You can jury rig something, but you pop out away from the station into as close to the nearest shipping lane as you can get. Hit the SOS signal and you wait for the days, or hopefully not weeks, until rescue comes for you.
Yep.
Which Prosley will give you a lot of time to study those notes.
Mhm.
That, I think, will be for a question for a matter for a different adventure. Congratulations on your escape from Garuda 99.
We did it.
We did
I
it.
succeeded on my first intellect check. I summoned the signal again.
Space rocks fall, everybody dies.
I got a total of a 6 stress, which felt very fun.
I can imagine.
Yeah, you had some fun rolls there, Elif.
So are you all ready for the big reveal? I think you've been waiting for this the whole time. There's a secret hidden in my
Yeah.
name. Do you see it? Do you see it right here?
Aaron Cog
Aha.
is cog as in like the cogs of machines?
I believe Caliph is revealing the secret in the Twitch chat.
I am. The Twitch chat
Oh,
has
Twitch
revealed
chat.
all.
Oh,
It was an anagram of
Rosebud all
kangaroo
along.
the whole time.
it was Kangi all along.
It's Kangi from the start. Incredible. I
That
genuinely did not
that
pick
was
that up.
literally how I designed the character. I'm like, I'm gonna make an anagram of kangaroo, and that'll be the character's personality. I'm like, cog, machinery. It's perfect.
That is incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Very
What?
good job, Kellen.
Well, thank you both for coming out and playing tonight. Thank you everyone in chat for tuning in.
Thank you for DMing.
Yeah, thank you to, I made a note, I have an automatic message running in the chat, but I am not doing many shoutouts or anything during the games as much since I'm GMing, but thank you, Xana and Mythical Red Fox for following. Good to see y'all in here. Thank you all for tuning in. As a quick plug, we will be back again next Friday at 8 p.m., where I'm going to be playing, not GMing, but playing through a full game of the Zone RPG with a pretty full group. That is a sort of combination board game and tabletop role-playing game based very much on stuff like, on works like Stalker, Annihilation, Roadside Picnic. It is a game of tragic sci-fi storytelling, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So tune in for that.
Wow,
Kelif,
Heretic not GMing? Is that a thing that can happen?
we are dipping into the wild and woolly world of GM-less games.
Oh man.
Anything is possible. But yeah, Kelif, Decimal, thank you both for coming out tonight. I had a blast. Do
Yeah,
either of
it
you
was
have
super
anything?
fun.
Yeah, do either of you have anything you'd like to plug before we go?
Thank you to Tuesday Night Games for making Mothership, the sci-fi
Yeah.
horror RPG where everyone can die.
Yeah. This was made. This sort of adventure was whipped up using both the player's guide, which is pay what you want on Drive-Thru-RPG, and using the module A Pound of Flesh, which has itself a pretty gonzo space station metropolis setting, as well as tools for rolling your own space station. And thanks
Hell
to
yeah.
Roll20, I think.
Kind of. Half
came
thanks
through in
to
the end.
Roll20.
Pulling it together, yeah. You got the job done. That'll do, Pig. All right. Well, in that case, I will go ahead and sign us off for the night. So thank y'all for tuning in. See you next time.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone. Good night.
Have a great night, everyone.